Well, I mean, this is just the way the world is. I mean, it pays the bills. Um, it supports our lifestyle, which is not much, but you know, it supports us. It supports you. It supports Ruby. It supports Ronan, even though he's not grateful for it. Apparently, it supports your brother. I mean, who the hell knows what's going on in his head? He's a teenage boy. Was I so different at that age?
I don't. Did you get the shit kicked out of you when you were his age?
Oh no, I held my own.
Well,
But I
great.
did.
He
But
can
I
be
did.
like you.
Oh, I'm, Kenya, I'm not gonna lie. I did not win every fight I was ever in as a kid. To me,
I need you to talk to him.
yeah. I mean, I'll talk to him, but I have to wait to after work. I mean, we've been busy. There's been fools coming in here. Like the lower levels, they just seem to be getting more popular and popular. Like there's more people wanting to visit them.
You can't have someone else take over for you for a little bit and talk to your kid.
Ah, shit. Yeah. I mean,
Like, he's not talking to me.
I'll go talk to him. Look, the boss isn't here today. Hold on. Um, and then I'll like call over Nastaya to see if she could cover the bar.
Nastai does that thing where instead of like fully coming over, like she's working like a table or whatever, um, and you just hear her go, "What?"
I need you to watch the bar for a few minutes.
For how long?
Just a few minutes.
I
Do
love you
I
forever, Nastaya.
do I do I get your tips? Do I get paid?
Yeah, sure, whatever. I mean, yeah,
Cool.
just if you could just watch.
What now?
Yes, now, please.
Cool. She deals with the customer and then just
The
heads.
guy was like, should I come to the bar or are you gonna
Yeah,
finish
sure.
taking our order here?
Um. Yeah. No. Come to the. I'm working the bar. Come to the bar. And she just like walks off halfway through, like taking the order.
Yeah, there's that moment where they're just like. The nice thing is the sort of the regulars that come in or not, or the regular folk are less likely to give you shit because being a demon has its privileges.
Yeah, I like telling this guy. I'm like, look, I just gotta run to the house, take care of something real quick. I'll be right back.
No
Don't tell your
worries.
dad I left the bar, okay?
No worries. He's not my dad. Yeah, you probably say your dad a lot, and she's just like, yeah, he's not. Like, it's just commonplace now.
It's not my dad.
My dad.
You see the proprietor? Not my dad. What?
Not
Oh,
my
I'm sorry, I
dad.
wasn't paying attention. It just slipped out.
Sorry. Don't tell the boss.
No worries.
Okay, Wrath, are you in your office or are you wandering the place or what? Oh, you're muted.
Um, it depends. Is Adon still working front?
No, not today.
Okay, then he's probably inst amongst the crowd.
Okay, yeah, at this point, yeah, Kindiana kind of heads your way and is like, swear to God, somehow your idiot nephew seemed to get your head.
I didn't realize he was doing so well in his studies.
There's not doing well in his studies. It's all the stupid stuff that you used to do back when, you know.
Go ahead, say it.
I heard.
Back when I was a young fool with magic coming out my ears.
Yeah, I heard Adon was here yesterday. Are you okay?
I'm I'm doing fine.
How did
Not really, but just different day, same stuff.
so when you were like, in what way did you approach? Were you also a part of the Mistran order?
Um, probably as a congregant,
Okay.
but never, not I wasn't a priest or anything. So,
Okay. And in general, what was your sort of relationship with the members of the order outside, of course, your husband like?
I guess it depends on if there's any politicking going on between like the Wizards Council and, the Church of Mystra. Because I know they look for people who are, up and coming, magic, users, and obviously the Wizards Council does as well.
Yeah, it would have been a lot of politicking.
Okay, so it was probably, cordial, but, I had my, enemies and detractors, and they likewise.
Okay. She goes, you can't tell me that your life's not simpler now, right?
Simpler? You see what it takes for me to, like, get service in this place sometimes? And he's, looking at the back of, Nastya as she's, bad-mouthing someone. Like, I had... Everything was handed to me when I was more powerful. I don't know if this is simpler. I mean, I can't summon myself places. I can't, create the things that I need. Instead, I'm just...
Down here with the rest of us?
I appreciate that my intellect is still valued.
Well, I think you could probably use your intellect better somewhere that's not a bar. But listen, I just want to make sure you're taking care of yourself, okay?
I'm doing okay. What's up with Ronan?
He got beaten up.
I assume that's what Simrio just went to take care of?
Yep. He's got to go there, talk to him, find out what the hell happened, because he keeps wanting to be involved in everything, and none of it seems to be above board. Just, if he's here, just keep an eye on him, please.
I mean, I did a lot of stupid stuff when I was young, but I always stayed on the right side of the law.
Yeah, I don't know if Ronan's going to.
Maybe someone needs to find out who his current friends are.
That might be useful.
Well, let me know if you need anything.
Will do. Nastya, Scala has basically sat at the bar kind of next to you. He was like, listen, we need to find a mark.
We downstairs or upstairs right now?
Downstairs. At the bar you're working.
Yeah. She's like, well... She just literally just motions out to everyone.
Kind of smiles and looks out. It's like, there are some people here, but I don't know. Oh, so this is something, I want to run this by you. We never came up with essentially what the dungeon was. So I brainstormed some ideas that I kind of like, because the whole idea of like this both dungeon as a mix of ski slope, sort of like people go down through the easier sections and then there's like the harder ones, and also almost like an escape room type thing. What do you think if it was something where someone had actually created, essentially it was supposed to be a fairly small dungeon and such for money, to stock it, have adventurers in, and basically become this area, but then accidentally got into something that was a lot deeper and a lot more ancient and hidden away.
They stumbled across, or they messed in stuff that they shouldn't have.
Basically digged a bit too deep and actually was creating this thing that was supposed to be relatively small, a place to sort of charge up and coming adventurers, keep stocked with bringing in goblins. A transmutation mage was using it to essentially make some money. Broke through some walls and then actually got to something. There was something else already there underneath.
So you're saying somebody built like a training dungeon to train adventurers?
Essentially, yeah. Because we've been sort of talking about especially the first few levels or something, kind of like that. There's the easier path and there's the harder ones.
But then actually dug into an actual dungeon
Yeah.
full of demons.
I think we've established, that there are demons down there. I think, Wrath's thing, there was like either a lich or, the purple dragon that, he was originally famous for. There's no reason that couldn't have been down there too. And I think we've talked about a beholder at one point too. So
Is it endless? In that there are like loops that people go around. Like when they want to do like, oh, the newbie one, there's like, okay, here's like a circle that you can go through, and then you come back out the way you came in. Or is there like an actual end way, or is it just like an endless dungeon that no one's ever been to the bottom?
What I was thinking was that the dungeon that was actually underneath what they created had actually been sort of created by the gods, cast down in the previous age of the world, and there's something very powerful and like highly magical trapped down there that has not, as of yet, like one of the things that some of the kind of higher ups they are almost searching for something that's supposed to be hidden way, way, way down in the depths that no one has sort of gotten to yet.
I see.
So yeah, like the upper levels would probably have a few things that are more sort of some looped areas, things that are kept with, because it also seemed like when we were discussing with the demons and such, like you would have certain areas of the dungeon, and because if a demon discorporates and then is able to then reform on Earth, it almost becomes a way for them to gain some power, test themselves, maybe take on some adventurers and such without sort of permanent consequences.
Yeah.
Like deals might have been made in some respect, but then as it gets further down, it becomes less semi-friendly. It allows the proprietor and yourself to actually rub shoulders with people you had fought in the past. Especially if you weren't particularly down deep.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So, yeah, the Scala's like, if we get a couple of these wannabes that want to go down there, that think they've got all the what it takes to go deep down, we put them on the wrong path. We talked to one of the guides that sort of takes them through, and I mean, here's the thing. The guides can't be... It has to seem like it's out of their hands, because if they screw up, if they take someone down there, their reputation kind of tanks. But if we either have a new guide or if we can cause something to happen, no one has to get hurt. We can rob some fools while they're down there. Everyone makes money. Everyone's happier.
Right. Did you... Wait, so what did she just say? Do we get like a different guide, like who's
No.
with like...
Well, she's like, I think I can take care of the guide, but finding the right idiots to go down there that we're going to be able to sort of take out. I mean, listen, Wrath has probably had to have talked to someone who wanted information that's clearly not ready.
You want to get Wrath involved in this?
Doesn't have to know what we're doing. He just has to know, like, who are some people that maybe are over their head.
And you want me to talk to Wrath?
I don't want to talk to Wrath. You
Well,
work
yeah,
with him.
it's obvious.
I mean, you two get along, right?
Yeah, she just makes that groaning. It's just like, okay, fine. As soon as I finish watching this bar for Samrio, then I'll go talk to Wrath.
Okay.
Actually, wait a minute. What the fuck am I talking about? Wrath!
At which point Scala just kind of like, and then just sort of heads away.
I look up from my conversation with Kindiana.
Come here a sec.
And I just roll my eyes at Kindiana and get up and straighten my robes out and casually walk over.
Yeah. She behind the bar. She has been just making sure that she looks busy doing something. So she's probably like got a tankard, like in her like on her like her tail's like holding a tankard, and then she's just like very lazily like using like a dirty cloth to like dry it out while her other hand is like leaning against the bar top, and she's just like resting her head on the hand, like she's so just utterly just bored right now. And she says, "Did you find out who was bad talking you?"
I did. Moneybags as usual.
Yeah.
New attack for her, so I'll give her credit.
Is it dealt with?
It's dealt with.
Cool. I've been hearing some people like being a bit questiony about your like. I mean, it did its damage a little bit, and I was wondering, like, have you given like newbies any advice recently? I just want to make sure that they're all like comfortable with what you've told them.
And of course, I'm always giving people advice. I mean, the newbies especially are willing to pay, especially if they're up from the noble set. I mean, those guys are typically
Oh,
clueless.
Have we got any new nobles in? I thought we sort of ran out. No, they do seem to die more than they come in.
You know, they usually turn their tails, you know, and run at the first sign of trouble. There's occasionally the ones who are, you know, goaded into going down well before their time.
Yeah.
You had talked to a group recently, actually. This is, you can share whatever you want.
Mhm.
But you had talked to a group recently who, again, the sort of arrogant, these are the ones who are rich, who think they have some power. One of which, Toriath, is like an elven mage who you know that he and Adon have been kind of button heads, sort of in the hierarchy. There's been some stuff sort of between them. He kind of looked down on you for that. It's like, oh yeah, I used to be with Adon. But he, for the most part, was being quiet while the other ones were asking these questions, and they're sort of your standard adventuring group that wants to go in, that wants to kind of give it a shot. All of them are from sort of wealthier families with more money than they need and less sense than they should have, which, to be honest, is not an unusual thing to come through, particularly to sort of bunny slope the
Sure.
dungeon.
Yeah, I mean, there's a handful of fools there with that elven mage last week. I don't know, Toriath. I'm not sure if you know him. I believe he was being paid to consult for them, and surprisingly brought them to me.
Oh.
I don't know. I think he's like the youngest son of the Earl of something or other. What was it? Canterbury, Canterwald, something like that.
Caterwall. I like that.
Did they like? Have they done a run yet? Have they made it?
Not as of yet. They are they're kind of chopping at the bit, but they're also terrified to try it.
Yeah, he has some fear of. I think he has asthma or something. But you know, I mentioned the death funguses on in the third corridor, and he sort of blanched at that. So he's still working up the courage. He might need a few more drinks the next time he comes in to get him over that hump.
Just I love the idea of here it comes. All right.
Yeah, I think I might have. I'm sure I've. There's someone selling something to do with asthma. Just point them out if they ever come back into the inn, and I'll try and hook them up. Might assuage their worries a little bit.
I mean, it's all the standard info I give it. You know, all of those beginners. I mean, nothing really changes much in the first first day's travel in the dungeon.
Yeah.
Oh,
But why are you suddenly being so helpful?
Because I want more tips. Yeah, she just holds the S like on tips. She's like, because I want more tips, and she's just like looking at him like, am I going down this line? Yeah. Let's
And I'm
just
like-
go with. I've said it now. Fuck it.
Like, whatever gets you paid around here.
Cool.
And I just nod, accept that, and wander back to my table.
Cool.
All right, Samrio. Your home was right above the bar, or near it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's probably somewhat close.
Okay. Head in, and Ronan's door is shut. Ruby? Was that your other kid?
Yeah.
Ruby's 5 years old?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They're heading through, and it's like, and I do not have children, and it was a 2-year-old. I know how they talk. A 5-year-old, I might be shooting a little high as far as it goes. Ronan wasn't looking good, Dad.
Ruby, it'll be okay. He's tough like his pops, and just like you.
Can I have a cookie?
Yeah, sure. Let me talk to Ronan, okay? And then I'll come down and have a cookie with you.
Okay.
I knock on Ronan's door.
I'm fine.
Ronan,
Fine, Dad.
come on, open the door.
You open it up. He's been worked over. Like, face has been hit. Like, look, you're guessing broken. We can kind of tell broken nose there. The way he's kind of holding himself, it also looks like he probably got quite a few sort of body blows. It's the kind of beating that someone gets that. There's a kind of beating that someone almost receives to send a message. What you're looking.
I'm like, Jesus. I should see the other guy, right?
No, Dad, I'm in some trouble.
So I go and I sit down next to him on the bed. I'm like, look, tell me right now, are you hurt? Do we need to take you to the temple?
No, I'll be fine. It hurts, but I was running a job for Clouda, and they came on me and took everything I was supposed to deliver. Now, Clouda is a name that you are definitely familiar with. Clouda is, let me double check on pronoun. Clouda. Clouda is one of the sort of up and rising sort of crime bosses in the town, and she's a banshee.
Oh. But Sam Rio's heard of her, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's one of the things about working where you're at is you hear enough gossip, and also it's easy to kind of keep up on things because, especially the upstairs bars, there's lots of talk about things that are going on in the city itself.
What do you mean you were running stuff for Clouda?
Just to make a little bit of extra money and, meet some people. And I got a thing to deliver this lockbox full of items, and I was on my way to drop it off, and it seemed like they knew where I was going. They beat the living shit out of me. Took it, told them that Clouda's not supposed to be in that territory anymore.
Look, you need to cut this shit with Clouda. All right, no more.
I don't know if she's gonna let it go, Dad.
Look, I'll do what I can. I'll talk to somebody, okay? But you are cutting yourself out of this shit right now.
I will. I promise. It was a dumb idea. I thought, thought I'd get involved, but I ain't that guy. I ain't that guy apparently.
Look, these are dangerous people you're dealing with. You understand that, right?
Yes, clearly. I mean, I was just a delivery boy. It wasn't supposed to be, just take some stuff, drop it off, and be done.
Yeah. Look, as long as you promise me that you are done with this shit.
I'm done. I swear. I swear. Like this, she's a banshee. The whole thing is she shows up when people are about to die.
Look, I'll see what I can find out, all right? But are you sure you don't know what was in that box?
I was told it was some minor magical items. Like what they actually did. I didn't know. I didn't need to know. All I knew was I was supposed to stay away from, like, some of the Quasitors and any sort of stand where they're looking for magic stuff. Like, just keep it hidden, keep it there, and then head straight there and back.
Where were you supposed to take it?
The drop-off point was the Grey Griffin. Grey Griffin is a beyond a dive bar. I mean, it's practically a thieves' guild.
The Great Griffin. You are really digging into the bad part of town right there. How did you see the person that did this to you?
There's 5 of them. And yeah, they had masks on. I had just gotten out of the merchant district and they jumped me.
Did they say anything?
They just said that Cloud is supposed to stay out of this part of town.
Did you ever talk to Claudia, or was it like,
No.
did you deal with somebody else?
No, because if you fail with one of them, especially like that, like, I don't know how important that stuff was. If I go talk to her, she's gonna probably kill me. That's what she does. She's a banshee, Dad.
Look, my boss, your landlord's a demon. Okay,
That's different.
it's not different. There's 2 sides to everybody, and I'm sure Claudia has a reasonable side.
Would you come with me?
No, because you're gonna stay here, and you're gonna let me handle this.
Kind of slumps a bit. It's like, Dad, I'm sorry.
Look, I'm just glad you're okay. Tell me this. Did you at least get 1 hit in?
I tried. It got me in the face so quick. I went down and I tried to punch and I didn't hit anything.
It's understandable. They knew they couldn't take you 1-on-1.
Yeah, they probably could have. But thanks.
Look, I gotta get back to work, okay? I can't leave Nastya running that bar too long.
Okay.
But if I don't get back, the inventory's gonna be all off, and the boss is gonna have my ass.
You hear a crash from downstairs. It's okay. I've got the cookie.
Damn it. I'd be like, look, how about you join me and Ribby for a cookie?
Okay.
So yeah, like, we walk downstairs and kind of sit around the table and each have a cookie and a glass of milk.
Just what if you pissed off a banshee, just what you need. Cookie and a piece of milk. All right. Wrath.
Yes, sir.
Irius comes in to the bar and clearly looking for you. Irius is a Quasitor of Mistra. Sort of one of the Inquisitor makes this thing a more mix of sort of detective and
Problem solver.
investigator. Yeah. comes in. Irenaeus is kind of a, well, he's a political animal. He's also kind of a dick, but manages to keep popular with the sort of the right people. What would you say your relationship had been like with him before this? He knew Adon, and the two of them had worked together. They weren't at odds.
I mean, it's probably a little bit standoffish just because he is a dick, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, doesn't sound like someone who wants to make friends. You know, typical internal affairs, you know, type attitude.
Okay. So it comes your way. Rathkin Nautilus? Did I have that right?
Yes.
Do you have a moment?
Of course. What's the problem?
We should probably talk where we've got a little bit more privacy.
Oh, please step into my office.
Okay.
I'll walk him back.
Heads in. Does Adon talk to you about stuff happening with the church?
Most of our discussions have been of a more personal nature.
I imagine. Your condition is seen by some as a punishment, or at the very least a bad omen. He has some people moving against him.
More of that.
And he's got less friends than he used to. The people who are looking to unseat him, frankly, they're a group of folks that are assholes. They're not going to do well if they get up there. They're going to cause problems, go back to things that I don't think we should go back to. Your mind is still respected. I think you might be able to either sway Adon or some others. You may have lost what you can do, but many of us remember.
You intend me to sway him to do?
Probably
And
not bring up the
why
fact
are-
that I mentioned it.
And why are you coming to me?
Because Adon, he's cast off a lot of friendships, partly because of what happened to you, the way others see him. He's understandably fairly prickly about it. But because of that, and because of what some of the others are saying, he's in a position where he's not always thinking with his best head. He's not in the right mind space. He's angering people. He himself is not happy. He used to be, God, a machine. He used to be able to go through all of the various layers of bullshit you have to deal with in an organization, like any organization, including the church, and was magnificent. But now, he's off his game. I don't know how to get him back on. I don't
So you
want him
need
to
me
be...
to set him right so that you can continue to have the leadership you want in the church.
To a degree, but I don't know how much luck you're going to have setting him right. There may be some people you could sway.
To back him?
Possibly to back him. Like I said, some who want to treat you as if you're diseased. But they remember who you were, what you're able to do. They're seeing this as a curse of something that was brought on by Adon. I'm a member of the church. I'm fairly high up in it, but there's some superstitious bastards in there.
Of course, you are dealing with the church.
Real quick, how often do you think mages get burnt out?
I mean, to be honest, most of them just end up going crazy.
Which is in some respects almost less like you think, oh, madness is a thing, but then losing
Which that
losing
portion
the
of it,
connection.
like Mistra actually does take care of. They actually like do have a sort of like, I don't know, like safe folks home of like, you know, for the mages that have burned out or that have gone mad and, you know, are just, you know, radiating power. You know, they usually kind of lock them up, you know, somewhere nice and take care of them. So burnout probably less frequent than just, you know, power mad.
Okay. You cool if we make that kind of super rare?
Sure.
Like they're no one's entirely sure what, like, because I think we discussed a little bit about what had kind of caused you to be cut
Right.
off.
Yeah, I'd more channeled the power back into myself from, you know, a series of unfortunate, you know, spellcasting.
Yeah, and so there's that concern that they don't know if it's just there's lots of theories. They know that when it does happen, it will go that way, but there's also a lot of fears that it's something more than just what someone does. So no one's entirely certain, but sort of terrified it's a possibility.
Who do you want to talk? Who do you want me to talk to, Arius?
Well, there's one in particular who's been making some waves, trying to get his way in. He's a little upstart. He might be able to be scared off, but he's starting to pull the right people around him. Partly because, well, his family is fairly well off. Little shit named Toriath.
Arius? That elven
Yep.
mage. And I say mage, you know, sort of, yeah, insultingly. Just because you have a lot of years doesn't make you smart.
True. Peleus has actually been sponsoring him. Peleus is kind of a higher up. Peleus is someone who likes to sort of not be the guy, but be the guy behind the guy.
You mentioned Toriath was in here last week, shepherding a adventuring group.
Well, Toriath has got kind of the right amount of power, the right amount of knowledge. What he doesn't have is the sort of experience that leads to respect. And frankly, well, adventuring, dungeons, finding things, all of those. What he wants to do is he wants to actually go down the path of the path of the coin. There are three, like, once you get past the sort of the safer areas, there are sort of three major areas that are marked, one with a coin, one with a staff, and one with a helmet, that go kind of travel much deeper in. Those ones are all get much more dangerous. There's also unmarked paths.
Like,
But
if he plans on going down the path with the group he was with, he'll be the only one who comes back.
no, I mean, he's not stupid. He's not planning on diving directly down there, but he wants to work his way up because he has to start showing some steel inside of him, and that's, you know, usually the way to do it. A lot of the higher ups, if you haven't gone into some sort of dungeon or adventuring, if you haven't gone out and discovered something, fought demons or other creatures, they kind of look down on you.
So let me be clear. This Toriath is making a play in the church? Or is he just causing trouble?
He's building up to make a play. He's got some of the right people behind him. He's doing the things that you need to do to, well, be kind of where Adon is. I tried to warn Adon. Adon's not really seeing the dangers right now.
And I can certainly talk with him, but I guess I don't know what you want me to convince him of.
I don't know. Peleus may actually be a better person to talk to, but
I'm far less intimidating now than I was.
you might be surprised. People still remember who you were.
I mean, I'll talk with him for Adon, but
You two.
I don't know what good it will do.
You two gonna patch this up?
It's hard to say.
He's lost his grounding. I hope you do. Okay, I gotta go. Good luck, and for Adon's sake, I'll probably don't tell him about this. He'll be furious.
Like, that's usually the state of mind I leave him in. So
All right. So,
I escort him to the door just because it's my office.
and Nastaya.
Hello.
So, Scala comes up and just like, so, what did you say?
Because my brain is the literal worst. I talk about the nobles that were being led by the elf dude. Giving the names and stuff, of course.
Yeah, Toriath was the elf guy, and as he described him, you kind of had remembered this group of about 5.
Yeah.
That includes Toriath. That were in here asking questions. We're also talking to a few of the guides that often will take people down through the easier areas.
Yeah, they haven't been down yet. One of them was complaining about asthma, something like that, and apparently they're really just I feel like an asshole. Is this an asshole thing?
What?
I mean, normally I go down there after they're dead.
We're not going to kill them.
I
Listen,
know, but
these are just a bunch of idiot nobility who shouldn't be going down there in the first place, who have more money than sense. They think that they can come in and just, be badasses. And sometimes teaching someone that you're not a badass in a way that's only a little bit painful is better than having them die.
yeah, because you're a badass.
Hey, you're a badass. We're demons.
I guess they're rich and they're not dying. I guess. Sure, I guess. They're not here right now, so
No, not right of yet. We can, when they get here, we can talk to them, have them find out where they're going. We can maybe lead them a particular way, like maybe take care of some stuff in the dungeon. Just get them in the right place. I mean, you've got to know some good places to send them.
I mean, yeah. She just like there's like a brain bubble, and then they just sees like some cartoon people going down like various corridors, and then just like fire coming out, or like acid melting them, or like a demon just tearing them apart, and she's like, I guess. Yeah, I'll have to think, because he said they don't want to die.
We don't have to kill them.
Hmm.
We don't have to not kill them.
But just said, oh my god.
Why are you working the bar?
Because Sanrio had to go do a thing.
So where's Sanrio at? Cut to Sanrio.
Sanrio's like walking into the bar, and I imagine like maybe Nastaya's like this is right at that point of the conversation. Nastaya's probably like, oh, there he is.
Yeah. Where is Sanrio? Literally walks in, and I'm just like, there he is. I throw like the dirty dish rag, and then like just immediately just leave the bar.
Nastaya, no.
What,
3
what?
minutes. 3 minutes. Give me 3 minutes.
3 minutes? What
3
the-
minutes.
what
3
are
more
you
minutes.
doing?
Just hold on. Just give me 3 minutes. And I'm like running over towards where Wrath is. Wrath. You're muted, Steve, if you're saying something.
Yes, Sanrio.
God, look. I don't know if Kendi told you, but Ronan pretty much got beat down pretty bad.
She did. She tried to somehow insinuate it was my fault, but
you hear
Kids are kids.
You hear Nastya going what's your kid's name? Sorry,
Ronan?
Ronan. Ronan got beat up. Oh man, what the fuck?
Nastya, please, just can you just stay out of this one for me?
What did he do? Did he go to that bar again?
No, this I think I don't know. I think he's got into some trouble. I need to find out some stuff about this Claudia Banshee.
I mean, Clota?
Yeah.
Did she do it? I mean, he's alive?
Yeah, but see, here's the thing: is like he was working for her.
Damn, Ronan's a badass.
That's not wise. Like,
Yeah, that's what I told him. But what I need to know is like, who are her enemies?
Yeah, Wrath. One thing you will know about Clota is what makes her sort of rare is banshees don't usually kind of have the amount of sort of freedom or sentience or sapience is right, but basically like the amount of ability to kind of do what they want. She had been summoned in, something had gone wrong with the summoning, and essentially found herself sort of stuck on this plane in the material world, but also very much under her own steam.
okay.
So she's actually she's been making, and all three of you are aware that she's been creating herself as this underworld figure, and has been gathering up people around her. She is up and coming. She's kind of carved out a little bit of like a little area of the city that is hers. It's not a big one, but she has been doing a lot of this standard stuff, running running drugs, magical items, information, protection, all the kind of stuff.
I mean, the list of enemies is long. I mean, every good temple in this city is, I mean, she's an affront to. She's undead, and she's stayed on this plane for far longer than she should have been.
Yeah. Well, see, here's the rub, though. Like Ronan, she was using Ronan as a runner. Okay. And Ronan had a package of some magical items, taking it down to the Great Griffin when he got jumped. So
I told Kindiana I've never done anything that stupid.
I was right.
But see, here's the thing: is what, like, how much would a box full of magical items cost?
I look around the bar. Depends on the magical item.
Yeah, I'm just Ronan. This has Ronan real shook up, and I'm. It's not that I'm worried that Claude is going to reach him, because I'll take any punishment that Ronan deserves, but he doesn't deserve this because he's just a stupid kid.
Like, I also get the impression you don't know what you're dealing with either.
No clue.
I mean, she's not just the average, crime boss. She is a banshee. Scream, die, those sort of things.
Yeah. I mean, look at our boss, or at least my boss.
Right. I can certainly look into things for you, but how do you plan on dealing with this?
I don't know.
I mean, I have connections. I can hook you up with someone who can help. But
I have a feeling I need to talk to her, or just to explain to her that Ronan got into something that he didn't understand, and maybe I can reason something with her, repayment schedule, something.
I mean, you're talking about potentially like hundreds of thousands, depending on what Ronan was carrying. I mean,
Right.
she would have had to have been sending him because he was not a threat. Because normally, when you ship magical items through, even throughout the city, you send guards, like guards, caravan, like of guards.
Right. But why, if it was so important, would you send some teenage boy to the Great Griffin, of all places?
Right. Like, I used to know the proprietor there, but I don't think you'd want to talk to him. I mean, that place is just surrounded by thieves.
Yeah.
If you're gonna talk to her, maybe I should go with you.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate that help, but I need to talk to her because she doesn't need to be coming near our house and the family. And Ronan's assured me that he's done. He's out of it. He's not doing it again, but he's scared out of his wits right now.
So, out of character, what are you looking for from Wrath?
To try to see if Wrath knew how to set up a meeting with Claudia.
Okay. Like, listen, I knew this. As I said, I know the member or the owner of the Great Griffin. I also know a few other less savory individuals who I've worked with to, the people who can get you places in the dungeon that power and might don't get you. So mechanically, I'm going to spend a plot point to reveal I know someone who's probably risen to another crime boss level that can get him a meeting with her. We will say it's I don't know, what's a good thief name?
Carlo Thorpe.
Carlo Thorpe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and he goes into his office and writes something on a piece of paper. He's like, take this to Carlo Thorpe. He does business above the Golden Wheel.
All right.
This will get you access to him, and I've put in an instruction that you're interested in setting up a meeting with Clodagh.
Okay.
And for the love of all things holy, please call her Clodagh, because you don't want to hear a banshee yell.
Yeah, Carlo is. We'll make him if he's runs a kind of a big smuggling ring. The nice thing about those is it pays for other people to be on good terms with someone who can get you shit that might otherwise be a problem to get. So we can go with him having actually some pretty good connections throughout the city.
Thank you, Wrath. Look, I don't care what your sister says about you, but sometimes you're all right. I pat you on the back real hard and head back towards the bar.
All right. So at this point, who's doing what?
Well, I think Sam Rio is going to wait until probably he gets off work to go meet up with this Carlo or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And for Wrath?
I mean, I know Torith will come in here at some point, if he's going down with them. But you know, if it's not, if we just want to throw something out, I was.
If
I was
you
going.
want to wait for him to come in, you can. If you have something else too.
Yeah, I had something else. I was going to have an introductory visit with the quack that does magical quests.
The quack that does magical quests.
Yeah, the one that Adon gave me a token for. It was a
Oh yeah, oh that's right.
sort of either mage or shaman or something that handles the possession stuff.
Yeah, let me double check his. What's his name?
I did not write it down. That's why I just had quack.
Yeah. Let's see if I made a note of that from last time. We'll call her Tanala.
Tanala.
All right. And Astai, did you have anything in particular, or are you waiting to see if some of these others come in?
She's going to go on a break to go over the road because she wants to go talk to Moneybags.
All right. I was going to have Moneybags come in, so that works. That's what we thought they left. Cool. So, do you want to take a couple minutes here to use the bathroom, grab a drink,
Sure.
stuff like that?
Break is good.
Cool.
Sure.
I will be back in a few.
Okay. And I don't have any clear goals for visiting Tanala, just trying to advance that part of the story a little bit.
Let me.
You're on mute, by the way.
I was good. I was actually going to mute it so I could cough. Does Thanksgiving stuff go well?
Yeah, it was Thanksgiving.
And my brakes on my car decided they wanted to start grinding. Like,
As
right
they
at the
do.
point where I was like, I was going to have some extra money. Nope. Ended up taking Uber to a friend's place for Thanksgiving, and it was like $50
Whoa.
there and back. I was like, ah.
I've yet to actually take an Uber or Lyft anywhere. Should
I-
at some time.
At Gen Con I did.
Okay.
And when I was in New York for the wedding, I took it. It felt like it was cheaper in those places.
Yeah, Gen Con, I tend to walk everywhere, even if it's far out. Like, I like to go to a few places northeast of Monument Circle. There's a few good bars up there. And I'll walk up to those, and it's quite a hike from depending on which hotel you're at.
Yeah, I would prefer to walk, but I jacked up my back like pretty bad. So I'd be fine for a while, and then it would just start to pull so bad, like at the lower part of it, that I would have to stop.
I am back.
Hey.
Okay.
So yeah, make sure next year my back is not jacked for Gen Con so I can walk, because that'll be a whole lot easier. And a little bit cheaper. Okay. Why don't we start off with Moneybags?
Cool.
So Nastya, you like when you're sort of off shift, the Angel's Respite or Angel's Rest?
I think it's just a rest.
Yep, the Angel's Rest. Go in again. A lot of it's fairly quiet in there. It is. You got the normal people sort of going around having their drinks. It's much more chill than the Demons. The Demons Ruin Inn has a tendency to be. Bartender kind of looks up.
Fire.
What's your poison?
Literal poison.
That's how I like it. Goes through, takes some stuff, starts like it's like a mojito, or just takes puts some hemlock in and. Busy day today.
I mean, the boss isn't in, so got to laze around most of the time.
Yeah, fairly quiet around here. Not too bad.
Is Moneybags in?
Yep, got a point kind of pours it, and there's just this it's that acrid smell of something that can kill you. That just kind of reaches your nostrils, human
Burnt
poison.
almonds.
Yeah, she's in back.
Cool, thank you.
All right. So, she's sort of in her office, and you're kind of used to sort of heading back, and poke your head in, and she's sitting there working on some stuff. Looks up when you knock.
Yeah, she heads in and sits on the opposite end of the desk, whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
and puts the glass of poison on the table, and then she just says, "So you know how I'm supposed to be working for you? It's hard to work for you when I don't have work."
Well, just so happens there's some information that I could use.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, ideally, if you could slip something onto somebody, that would be worth even a bit more.
Slipping up to someone.
she goes back and she pulls out like this kind of ornate sort of box, and then she sets it down, and then kind of she touches a few of the areas on it. There's like a slight glow, and hitting the right combination. A lot of these are used to keep and protect magic items, and also to make it so that they're harder to detect and much harder to get to. And she opens it, reaches in, and takes out a coin and sets it on the thing in front of you. She goes, "We've got someone who's kind of been a pain in our ass lately.
Mm-hmm.
If now they're looking at going into the dungeon soon. This is going to be the thing. Bring up my notes. We'll call him Turf Ironheart. I'm sure you know the guy. He's been.
He sounds like a dwarf.
Yep.
Sounds absolutely like a dwarf.
And Turf Ironheart is fairly seasoned adventurer. Spends a lot of time there. I mean, it actually goes down deep. Like he'll sometimes be gone for a week or two at a time. And she goes, he's got a plan going down looking for some specific things. If there's two things you could do, one, find out what he's looking for, and two, make sure that this ends up and stays somewhere on his person.
What does it do?
Kind of smiles. She goes, well, it has a tendency to erode some of the other coins it's put next to if they stays around long enough. Don't worry, it's not. If you have it on you for a day, you'll be fine. But he has a tendency to be gone for quite some time.
So you just want to make him poor?
It's just saying that there's some reasons if he came out without a whole lot of money, I'd be better off. Plus, I want to find out what he's going after.
Right. How much are you getting paid?
She goes, for this, 2,000 if you put it on him, and another 2 if you get the information.
Is that a lot?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. She pretends, she tries to like wait a moment, trying not to look like fuck yeah, and then
It's probably roughly on par with what you if it's something dealing with one of the adventurers that go in, particularly the more seasoned one. This is probably on par.
Yeah.
With the stuff for that.
Yeah. So she just pauses for a moment and then just like scrambles to grab the coin, and she's like, "Yep, okay."
She goes, the problem is you need to I know getting the coin with him is not going to be that hard, but he needs to have it on him when he goes deep.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's fine. Yep.
Well, as always, nice talking to you.
Cool. She gets up, walks out the door, and then after a moment comes back and is like, "Whoops!" And then she like takes the glass of drink.
She goes, how do you stand the smell of that?
I mean, how do humans taste anything?
With our tongues. That's what we do.
Listen, demons either have terrible taste buds or you guys just don't know flavor. Is all I'm saying.
I'm thinking terrible taste buds. You're a demon. No offense.
Some taken. Okay, cool. I mean, you can have this if you want.
No, I can't. It would kill me.
Yep. And then she just heads out.
Yeah, and then those are ones with their the ones that are poisons are specifically treated in there that they usually glow a little bit in there, partly so that regular folks don't accidentally drink them.
Yeah.
Like when you've got real poison and something to drink, you've got to be super careful that Joe doesn't pick up the wrong cup.
Yeah.
All right, so Tanala. Tanala's there's a certain sort of mage who hires themselves out to help people find things, to be of assistance to those with the money or those with the need. There's a certain type that everything is sort of in order. It's much easier to sort of respect them as you look at them. Tanala's place is not like that. Tanala's place is much more, if you want to think more modern, new age shop
Oh,
/ like here's the
wonder.
area
No wonder
with
I had such a
tapestries.
low opinion of her.
Yeah,
Sorry, is it a her or a?
her.
Okay.
You come in and there's like a just kind of like a little pencil neck teenager and such, sort of like wandering the counter, kind of walking around, and there's people in there looking for things for, I mean the basic stuff like charms for money, love poets, and all this stuff, and you're looking through and it's the stuff that's in here, that at least for common perusal is not going to do it without other things to actually make it occur. So the stuff that they're getting is not particularly helpful. The kid looks at you and goes, "Hi, can I help you?"
I slide the token onto the counter.
"Oh,
Here to see
Tanala!
Tanala.
Tanala!" And I'm like, "Yes, my son," and kind of goes through like this beaded sort of curtain and sort
course.
of is looking out, kind of wild, sort of frizzy hair. Yes, and then sees you, and there's a moment you see like a little bit of it drop. Ah. And then he holds up. He's got one of these. She comes over and, "If you'll come with me," and heads back sort of through the curtain. And you follow her in. She turns
Oh, yeah.
around. She's like, "So, someone gave you my token. You're someone in need of help."
I am. And I've been told you have certain. He sort of looks kind of disparagingly back at the, front of the house, and he's like, certain skills which you might not have on display out front.
Sort of smiles and takes a seat. There's sort of crystal balls and all the other regular stuff back here. And she goes, "Well, strictly speaking, it'd be illegal for me to sell a lot of the stuff I have out there if it was actually potent. Particularly at the prices we've got. Some of them may help here and there, but I've got knowledge and other things I've done throughout the years."
Like, I have a problem that I've been told you may be able to help with. A couple years back, I went down in the dungeon just like any other time, down one of the lesser known paths, and well, the long and short of it, took in a lot more magic than I should have and burned my channels out. I'm looking to reopen those.
You're Rathkin Dauntless.
The same.
I always wondered if I would meet you. May I? And kind of reaches for your hand.
I put them out.
Okay. She touches like the kind of the palm of your right hand a bit, and then has that moment where she's looking and thinking. Have you had any connection with magic since?
In what way?
Are you completely burnt out, or
I still have some of the sense, but I've not been able to summon any of the power.
if you have some of the sense, means you're not completely out of the woods? She gets up and starts looking through a shelf that she's got. There should be some ways. May take me a little bit of time to find out the correct way to do it. Here, and then kind of grabs a... it's a pendant that has got like a... there's like a clearish crystal in the middle that you can kind of see through. It's still rough, but then there's like glyphs and such on the outskirts of it. She goes, It may take me a little bit of time to find out what might be able to connect you. I'm sort of curious what'll happen. I mean, frankly, if I can help you do this, my reputation's, well, fairly much made.
It would certainly be secure.
She puts the amulet sort of on the table in front of you. Since it's happened, your dreams, how have they been?
Much the same. More dreams of what I was than, and where I currently am, as opposed to, dreaming of new magics or
Nothing chasing your dreams, no recurring nightmares of something external to you?
I don't remember, do I? Or did you
No.
mention any? Okay. Um,
Unless you want them. It will sort of depend
No.
on what she does next.
nothing recurring. I mean, I've had my share of run-ins in the dungeon that, living is the better, choice than staying to fight, but
Well,
nothing that haunts me.
Well, that probably means is that whatever it is not something external to you that's burnt you out, which means there's nothing else, ideally, that's pulling your strings. So, if you will take this amulet and into it, whisper softly enough, I don't need to hear it, but it just needs the truth, of the thing that this has cost you the most.
I'll take it from her.
Okay? Just, I can leave the room if you prefer.
Like, if you have the power you've been reported to have, whatever I say won't be new to you.
Then feel free.
What does it cost me the most? Something deeper. Trying to think for Wrath what it would have cost him the most. Because obviously the love is a symptom of it. Yeah, I think he just says his confidence.
Okay. Okay. And when you whisper it into it, the gem itself turns cloudy, and then she's reaches for it. If you hand it to her.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Takes it. Magic is who we are. It's something that is tied deeply into everyone who has a connection to it. When that connection is taken, when something happens, it affects us. Tell me, have you ever heard of a God's Quest? You'll have heard superstitious old
Yeah,
tales.
I've heard whispers of it, and I know from the individual that gave this to me that you do traffic in some sort of possession quests.
The gods long ago, before magic was turned into a science, would sometimes allow people to travel on their paths with them for a short time. Now, it'll take me some time to figure out what might be the best for this, but perhaps the best way to get it back is to travel in the footsteps of a god.
Oh, from my research into these superstitions, forgive the term, but that's what most people know them as. it's not always guaranteed that the individual comes back
No.
or comes back whole and not still possessed by the god
I
or
heard you
by
worked at the
the
Demon-
spirit.
I heard you work at the Demon's Ruin Inn.
I do.
Well, how many people that go down there don't come back or don't come back the same?
I understand there's risks. What I'm looking for from you is an understanding of the reality of from my research to your experience.
She goes, dude, give me some time to use this, to use the information I have, and see what might be best, and then I'll be able to lay out, if you want to take the risk to gain yourself back, what it will take. But it'll be easier once I know who would be the best person to go through.
Understood.
Excellent. Anything else you like while you're here?
Like, no, thank you for your time. And I pass over, a pouch of coins to her.
Just, no. I haven't done anything yet, and frankly, I know how all of you look at me, and those sort of like me. If I can help you, it's a story I'm going to tell, and that will open up doors for me.
I just nod, knowingly at that and get up and depart.
Okay. And Samrio,
Yep.
you are looking at kind of heading into not quite the rougher part of town. He's still in the merchants district. Actually, first you're going to see Carlo. So the place that Carlo Thorpe works is it's out of a shipping house, which for a smuggler makes some sense. Not too far off of where the docks are, sort of where that district kind of abuts with the merchants. And it's a nice place. When it goes in, there's sort of a large, roomy office. It looks like there's the home area might be directly above it. And when you sort of head in, there's people working. You can see a bunch of laborers sort of moving things in the back as they're taking things from some of the warehouses onto carts and other things that are ready for them. And come in, some guy's sitting at the counter just sort of writing some stuff, and there's like 2 books in front of him, and he's sort of making some notes from some papers that are written there.
Hey, yeah, looking for Carlo.
You're looking for Carlo. Who are you?
My name's Sam Rio.
Oh, Samrio.
What, you know me?
No, I don't know who the fuck you are.
Look, I got a note for Carlo.
Let me see it.
I pass over the note.
Okay. And Wrath, what did the note basically say, just to get communication with this guy? You're muted.
Sorry, I always keep on doing it on screen as opposed to on my headset, so I
Yeah.
don't see that little indicator. The note basically says that Semrio is a close personal friend of Rathandanthus, and needs an introduction and to basically it's basically a letter, a writ of
To Clodagh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clodagh.
The guy looks at it and goes, "You got someone trying to introduce you to Clodagh?
And
You don't
that's
look-
funny. Why?
You don't look like the kind of guy who wants to meet Clodagh."
Come on, man. Just can I talk to Carlo or not?
Give me a minute. I'll stay here. He kind of goes through. You see, he whispers to one guy on the thing, a little bit of a laugh, and the guy sort of looks at you, and you see him go, "Really?" Apparently, and then sort of heads up. He heads up the steps, and a few minutes later, you hear, "Yeah, he'll see you. Oh, we gotta pat you down first."
Okay, all right, whatever. You know what? Whatever.
I'm assuming you probably Samuel probably doesn't carry weapons and such.
No, Samuel has nothing on him besides like maybe a few coin.
Yeah, and then when they're checking like weird things in the sleeves and stuff, like the kind of stuff that you might worry about if your boss was a crime boss. Okay, you head up, and he's up there, and there's sort of a fairly large looking guard there, as well as a another one there that seems maybe a little more magical. The thing that are also both sort of hanging out in the office, and he looks up at you from this sort of large desk. He's got just a ton of stuff all over it. And he goes, "So you're the friend of Rathkin Dauntless, and you want to meet a Banshee."
Yeah, I was hoping to speak with her.
Out of curiosity, well, why are you going to talk to an undead crime lord?
Personal family business, if you must ask.
Certainly. I could make this introduction. I have seen nothing, and your friend has arranged for any sort of payment for this.
I didn't realize I was going to visit an attraction.
You did not visit the attraction. How many banshees have you seen in your life, my friend?
Seen a lot more demons.
Kind of looks at you a moment. You do not look like the kind of person who traffics with demons. Forgive me for saying so, but you seem normal.
Well, I would hope so. Thank you.
But if you're asking this favor, the easiest way for this to happen is to me to send someone along with you to the graveyard to meet her. That requires some of my people to take up some of their time, and also takes this meeting we've had right now. I mean, good lord, look at all these things on my desk. There's so much I have to do, but I have stopped because your friend, who is someone I once knew, has asked me to speak with you.
Okay, are you saying that? All right. Let's cut to the chase here. How much do you want?
For this, $250.
How about I comp you some drinks at the Demon's Ruin Inn?
Oh, comp me some drinks in the Demon's Ruin Inn? That could be 14 or 15. That would leave you 230?
Yeah, probably around there, if you do the math. But, look, not gonna lie to you. You say I look normal. It's because I am normal. I'm not some person out there peddling or picking pockets or risking my life for some shiny down in a dungeon. Look, I'm a bartender. And I just need to talk to Clodagh. That's all I need.
Let's see if you can convince him with that. Go ahead and make a roll.
All right. Where is my roll 20 sheet?
Now, right now, Doom Pool is fairly low. I'm just going to go ahead and use that for this. So he has a 9. Is essentially the target number you'll end up going for.
So we use one value, one relationship, and then one of the other things, right?
Yeah, so it's one value, one relationship, then a distinction.
Okay, I'm going to go with honesty, because he's telling the truth. I'm going to go with the proprietor, because I name dropped the inn. And I'm going to go with likable for my distinction.
And the other thing, if you want, you could use, like, so once you've done those, you can also use, like, The Demon's Ruin Inn, for example, if you wanted there, or like Pele or Ronin, or probably wouldn't necessarily help. But when you roll those, roll everything else. The locations or extras are then like you roll them, and then one of those is added onto it, so it's basically a third die that gets added. But then you can't for the rest of the session. They're considered to be down one. Like it'd be one die instead of two.
Right. Yeah, I guess I'll use the N on it. Might as well.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and roll.
Okay. Then you want to roll the stuff for the inn.
So that's just a D4, right?
The 2d4.
2D4.
Okay. Take a plot point for that one, and I will use that to raise up the Doom Pool. Plus 1d4. Actually, I can use that to instead raise up a die that's already there. So 3d6. So he goes, for your friend, for Wrath, and for how we knew each other, I'll send you there. But realize this. If you don't come out of there, I've warned you now, that you, bartender, dealing with a banshee, perhaps not the best idea you've ever had.
No, it probably isn't, but
All right.
I've never really had great ideas. So this is the best I could do, which is why I'm here.
Then goes, Claude! In a little moment, a guy pokes his head up. Yeah. You are to take him to the graveyard of Cloda. He goes, okay. Really? You?
Why does people keep saying that?
Just a simple bartender. All right, come on. It takes you through, like, it kind of winds through some bits of the city, and you reach, there's an area with, like, there's a large graveyard up on a hill, kind of an old, desiccated church that's there, and he takes you into, as you're on your way, you see a number of Cloda's gang. The Death Scream are sort of gathering and sort of watching. A lot of them have tattoos of a screaming banshee face on them. But as they're kind of coming through, a couple times he stopped. When he is stopped, he's like, "Yeah, I work with Carlo. I'm taking him through to see Cloda." And again, there's always like, "This guy?" Like, yeah. And they take you towards this large tomb that goes into the side of the hill. And he's like, "Well, you'll find her in here."
In there?
Yep, and one of the death screams kind of comes up to you and goes, "Yeah, we can take you from here." So you're coming to see Cloda.
That's right. At least that's what I'm hoping for.
Why exactly are you coming to see her?
I need to discuss some private business with her.
Well, I can ask if she wants to talk to you, but you got to tell me a little more than that.
I may have some information on some lost items.
All right, give me this. Guys, watch him. Pat him down.
This again.
Kind of rushes it, like goes in, comes back out about a minute or two later, and goes, "Yeah, follow me." And you enter in. Like it's a tomb. It's fairly dark. There are in the walls there are kind of the areas where they've got some skeletons. So they're in repose, and it comes into like a large chamber with some steps down, and you see like she's floating, kind of a greenish spirit form that the skirt sort of disappears into nothingness as it sort of reaches the floor, and she's sort of floating through and turns and just kind of nails you with her eyes. And Who comes to speak with me?
Clodagh, I presume I am Samrio.
Samrio.
Yes, Samrio. That is my name.
And you have information on some missing items?
Yeah, see, recently you have been employing my son as a runner. His name is Ronan.
He failed me.
I don't believe you gave him the opportunity to succeed because he said he got jumped before he even could make it to the Great Griffin.
So I did not give him the opportunity that he needed. Should I have sent him with a puppy to help, to warn him off?
No, but perhaps you could have let him know the danger he was in. Maybe he wouldn't have done the job.
Okay. I would go ahead and make a roll here. It's like you're trying to convince her. Trying to push her into possibly letting it go.
Right. Clear. I'm not sure what value to use on this one.
Well, let's see. So value-wise, you're here for your son. This is something that he was certainly not ready for. You spoke the truth, even if it hurts. Authority makes many into assholes. Could be a possibility.
Yeah, that was the one that jumped out at me first.
And
It's
sometimes
like,
if you end up rolling stuff like lower stuff, like you don't always necessarily want to succeed because getting stress is sort of how you.
right. I think I'm gonna go with authority because I think Claude is an asshole. Relationships. I don't know how to use for relationship.
You can spend a plot point to have a D6 relationship with her in this. Your son doesn't count as sort of a relationship in this one. If there's another one that makes sense, I mean, you Wrath is the one that. Well, no, Wrath sent you to.
Carlo.
One. Yeah, so like there, you're not kind of coming in with that.
I was gonna say, and I offered to help, but he's like, "Oh no, better do it myself."
I've got this.
So if you said if I spend a plot point, I could get a D6 temporarily just for the.
Yeah, for the scene, you'll have a D6 relationship with her.
All right, I'll do that. All right. And then I guess I'll just use Ronin since that's what this is all about anyways.
Okay.
Do I roll 2d6 on that or do I wait to afterwards?
Do you have any other D6s?
What do you mean?
Are in the role you're putting together now? Are there already any other D6s?
Yeah, there's the one for the plot point I just spent.
Okay. I would roll those afterwards just so we know which ones are those.
Okay, so this is the values in relationships. Did it roll? Yeah. And then I'll roll the other 2d6.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like I rolled a 1, so that means I get a plot point back.
Yeah. Take another plot point. The Doom pool at this point will then. So what is your total and your effect die?
So the total is your two highest, right?
Yeah, usually you don't always have to use them, but you'll usually use your two highest.
So the total would be 7
Okay.
with an effect die of 2.
What is the effect die size? If you want, you can actually pull them into where it says player total and then effect die. The effect
Okay.
die, it's the size that matters, not the as long as it's not a 1. Because if it's a ones that are ones you can't use it. So you have a D6 effect die.
Mm.
So at that point, that she like the whole room seems to grow almost a little colder when you say that. I'm gonna be adding her D6s for the graveyard here. Okay, and with if I ever have like a one thing you can do is spend a if you want to spend a plot point to bring down the Doom Pool, and the Doom Pool is what I use when you're not in like direct confrontation with someone, or sometimes you have something that lets you do a that like activates on an opportunity. So at this point, like everything seems to grow a little bit colder, and actually, yeah, that 2 will get added. So it's a 15, which means the die is actually stepped up by 1 because she succeeded by more than 5, so it would be a D10 stress on there. Now, the stress isn't because you have a chance to kind of come back. It just grows colder. She goes, your son got involved, believed he was ready to work for me, and then lost things that we were sending. Tell me again why I sent him before. He wasn't ready? Perhaps your son got involved, and if he had parents that were more interested, he wouldn't be in the trouble he's in now.
Fine. You want me to take the blame for this? I'll take the blame for this. What do I need you to do? Or what do I need to do to make amends for my son's stupid decision to work with somebody like you?
Okay. So 2 things mechanically you can do right now. If you want to then do that a roll to see if that will basically get you through without stress on it, I can do that. You can also give in by spending a plot point and then dictating the rule if the failure goes.
Hold on, can you repeat that? I can spend a plot point and
So you-
narrate
like-
how I fail it?
So because otherwise like she's beaten yours, so at that point you can give in if you've already gone and say, okay, well, this will be how I fail. You can spend a plot point and then if I recall, you don't take the stress on that. I'll double check. But the other thing you can do is if you want to roll and see if you're able to sort of inspire her in the thing, so maybe you won't take stress. Though I recommend taking some stress because it can be
Right.
useful.
So,
for
like,
both.
if I don't do anything, I take the stress, right?
Yeah, yeah. So on that one, we can make a roll. I mean, if you can beat a 15.
No, I mean, I could just straight up take the stress, right? Without rolling anything.
Sure, yeah. In this case, we'll say.
Okay.
So I'd take a D10 insecure.
Okay.
So at that point, she sort of leans back a little bit and goes, your son believes he's a lot more than he is. Does that come from you?
Not that I would think. I think he's just aiming higher than me.
She goes, maybe higher than you. See, the thing is, I could use at times someone who is brave, resourceful, who has the things within him that someone in my profession needs. So I'm wondering, what is it you might have to offer?
I mean, I'm just a bartender at the Demon's Ruin Inn.
Ah, bartender at the Demon's Ruin Inn. A lot of people come through there. And you hear a great deal, is my guess?
I hear a bit, but most of that is in the VIP room.
So, this may be a stupid thing for me to do, but occasionally, well, showing a bit of kindness is a blessing. So, you will, until you have given me information to make up what we're doing, occasionally find out some things for me as necessary. Does that sound okay to you, or should I speak more with your son?
No. Leave him out. I'll get what information you need.
When I have
Is there
need,
any reassurance that I know that this deal would end at any point? Or is this like, I mean, out of character, like,
out of character, not necessarily. But I mean, you do have the proprietor and such. They're going to him, or some of those things can help bring some stuff in. But whether it'll last forever, it's impossible to say.
right. But yeah, I mean, Samario would do it.
Okay.
Just to get just a free running out of it.
She sort of smiles. She's like, I've seen many fathers allow their sons to wither and die on the vine. But you come here amongst death.
I mean, one's got to take care of their family, right?
Go home. Tell your son that this is not a job for him. This is not a world that he belongs in.
Okay. Is there anything else I need to know about this, or will you be contacting me? How does that work?
I'll send one of my people. You'll know them by their tattoos.
Right. Okay. They're not troublemakers, are they?
No. Well, not the ones that I'll send. I have no wish to get on the wrong side of your boss.
Well, I thank you for the audience and the compromise.
Of course. Take him back. Make sure that he's made safe. I wouldn't want my newest little bird to be harmed on the way home. Okay. So I think probably everyone arrives back at the bar at some point for evening shift.
Sure.
All right, so evening shift starts sort of going on kind of like normal. After a bit, as sort of people are coming in, you see Toriath and the others come back in, and they grab a table in the lower section, and they're going through having a drink. Sort of seem to be enjoying themselves. Samrio, have you talked to Ronan? Let him know.
Yeah, I probably stop by the house before I go back to the bar and say, look, I took care of everything, but you're free from Clodagh, all right? And don't even try to go back to her. She's not gonna hire you.
I won't. Never again. Never again.
But yeah, I took care of it. Your old man's got you.
Sorry, Dad.
Look, just focus on school, all right?
Okay. So, back at the bar, the sort of elven mage, Toriath, kind of comes up and throws down some money. He's like, bartender! We want drinks.
Yeah, 1 second. I'm helping another customer here. Just wait 1 minute. I'll be right with you.
I think. So this is the elf in the group, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Then Nastaya, jabs Scarlet in the rib, and then just immediately goes over, before Samrio can even finish dealing with the other customer, and she says, "How can I help you?" With a big, waitress smile on her face.
It's just, we need 2 big tankards of ale, whatever's the cheapest. I want to order a couple of things, and then a fairly expensive wine.
Nastaya, what are you doing? Why are you behind the bar?
Well, I'm trying to help the customers. She's still talking with the big smile on her face, and she goes to get all the stuff.
Samrio's just like looking confused and all right, whatever.
Then he heads back over to his table.
And I think Wrath will try and intercept him.
All right.
It's like, Toriath, could we have a word?
Oh. There's a moment he flinches back a little bit from you as he sort of sees you. He's like, so, Wrath. Certainly. What do you,
Please, come into my office. It's much quieter than all the riffraff.
Okay. Sort of looks around a little bit. It's like, sure. Guys, we're getting the drinks. We'll be back in just a moment. And kind of follows you in.
Please, have a seat.
Okay. And he sits down. It's like,
As I stand and, make a pregnant pause underneath, the august, portrait that's behind me, and then sit down. Like,
we're thinking about going in. I think we're going to do that maybe a little bit later this week. Go down, see what we can do. We can find out.
yeah, and the area you were asking about, you should be able to handle. I'm not sure about some of your friends, but as long as they don't get you into too much trouble, you should be okay.
Some of my friends, they were mercenaries with the border guards for several years. So I think they're all going to be able to handle themselves just fine.
So you're really just, escorting the young noble.
Heading down, we're going to, someday we'll be up in the upper part. You'll be able to say, yeah, I was there when they started.
You looking at the staff this time, or?
Eventually, go down and hit one of those ones. But I'm gonna start small. Get a taste for it before we head deeper.
Good. I hear you're trying to make a name for yourself among the temple.
I don't think that'll be all that difficult. Oh, among the temple? Yeah.
Like, I'm still connected with many there, as you should know.
Is it many? I thought it was one.
Like, you don't spend that much time without making more than a few friends. People who are concerned that you need a bit more seasoning.
There's a moment he just sort of pauses a bit. He goes, so maybe I need some more seasoning. And?
Like, there's some who are shall we say motivated to make sure you don't get involved in anything you can't handle.
You think I can't handle? I go ahead and make a roll since you're trying to make him insecure.
Let's see what I got here. Don't need for knowledge, more than our past, I'm my own boss, they can't handle the truth. I thought I rewrote my honesty. Sworn I rewrote my honesty statement. Huh, maybe I didn't. Oh, it was something else I rewrote, I think. I think I'm being honest with him that he can't handle the truth of this situation. I bet he's not ready. I am going to... I'm doing this for Adon, so I'm going to use him as my relationship, because I'll go to any length to regain his love, even threatening some pissant mage. And I think I'm definitely using connected that, because I'm talking about, the threat of other people influence, being involved in this decision. So that's D8, D12, D10. And I'm not going to use my parlor yet. I'll wait until I pull some information. 10, D12.
Okay. 16. Looks like, yeah, with a
Yeah.
D10. 8. So that's not going to go well for him. So yes, he's got this moment where it's just, I think, take a D10 insecure stress on him. Because I think we should do fine. I mean, I'm assuming that's insecure, or did you want to put afraid?
Yeah, make insecure. Because I want him to be unsure of what he's doing, not afraid of what I'm going to do.
Okay. Remind me what the last thing you'd said.
I was actually saying that there's people who want to make sure that he doesn't bite off more than he can chew. That he's ready for the undertakings
Okay.
he wants to do.
I mean, we're gonna start small. I mean, not gonna go too deep. I mean, you told us that area is relatively safe, right?
That area, yes. But if you were interested in going down, say, the path of the staff or the path of the coin, you would not make it. It's not that I have fear for your current skills, though, though judging by your name, you haven't passed a couple of the trials that I had passed by the time I went down that path. So maybe you might be lacking some of the more advanced techniques to counter some of the magics there. But the rest of your group, be slaughtered to a man.
It kind of gulps and it's like, we'll be sure to make sure that
Stick with the front of the dungeon. Get your feet wet. Learn what you don't know.
Okay. Yeah, we'll be more careful.
And most importantly, whoever's encouraging you to go further faster, consider whether they have your best interest at heart.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Wrath. Wrath Nautilus. Thanks.
And I'm like, and the first round's on me.
Oh, thanks. So
Yeah, I wave over, and I wave over to Sam Rio, assuming that he was the one taking care of him, and just say, just point to myself and the table.
Okay. Oh yeah, then he goes back and rejoins his friends. Then if you sounds like you're dismissing him.
I'm dismissing him, and I'll hang out in the bar and keep an eye on things.
He downs that wine relatively quickly. Nastara, you see Turf entering in and going up into the second level, going in with a group of friends. It seems like they've already been drinking.
Oh fuck. So yeah, she'd been watching the elf guy and the friends and everything, just being like, okay, when they're going in soon. Okay, when they're going in. Oh fuck. She looks at Scala to so she can deal with that, and then she's like, I have to go, and then she just goes upstairs.
Okay.
What's the upstairs like?
I think we talked about it's a little more raucous up there. You've got a bunch of adventurers, it's like a VIP lounge. Someone mentioned you've got the people there who have been kind of down deep, talking about stuff, drinking. It's essentially a place to be seen. Sometimes the rich and the powerful will also make their way there because they can kind of rub shoulders with what are essentially celebrity types.
Do they have different servers up here?
I think you guys probably all cycle through because I think Sam Rio, you said you sometimes work up there.
Yeah. I think there's like another bar up there.
Yeah. Are you up there? Are you up there now, or are you downstairs?
I can be if you need me to be.
Actually, downstairs will probably work a little bit better for some stuff that's about to happen.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, they'll have different like you take shifts up there too.
Cool. Yeah. Then she's just like, I imagine she gets into like a much fancier, like apron or whatever,
Mhm.
and like one of the servers that's currently working there is like, "Hey, wait a minute, you're not supposed to be," and then she just like growls at them.
Okay.
Yeah, she gets up and goes over to what's his name?
Oh, Turf.
Okay. Turf. Yeah, she goes to Turf and just says, "So, what can I get you guys?"
Tell you what, give us. I want a jug of mead. What do you want? That's like get some ale, some other stuff. Like it's mostly it's fairly simple, but some stuff that costs a little bit more up there because they have the
Yeah.
nicer slash. We're just charging more because we can up here.
She smiles and like goes gets the drinks in. As she's putting them down, she makes small talk. Says, "Are you guys going in tonight or?"
No, he kind of laughs. He's not set up to go in. He's just sort of regular clothes. He goes, "Up, going in soon though. Tomorrow, I think. May go down for a couple weeks."
Oh, that's good. I see you go down quite a lot, and you must do really well down there.
Of course, I mean, like his arms are scarred up and such. He's clearly seen a bunch of fights. He goes, "You've heard of Turf, certainly.
Oh, absolutely.
Been fairly down deep in staff. It's the one I've been working on."
You go down the staff. Most people just go down the coin. I think mostly because they think it's where they'll get the richest, right?
Yeah, maybe, but you know what? The thing is, everyone's going down that way. Got a lot of orcs and such, kind of deeper down. Staff, though, that's where it's at. Staff, you got a lot more. Good lord, some of the things that are down there.
Well, don't
Frozen.
worry, I won't. Go ahead.
Throws new stuff at you all the time. So you've been down there. You look like you're from there.
Sometimes I go down. Just, I'm not that much of a regular though.
So tell you what, the young dragon, about 12 levels down. You ever tussle with them?
The what? Sorry, out of
The
character.
young dragon,
The young dragon.
about
Like
12 levels
literally a
down on
dragon?
staff.
Is it literally a dragon?
Yeah,
Yeah.
young one, but it's
Yeah.
not always there. There's a part of it that it's home. It comes back there from time to time.
She smiles and says, "I hear it's not get that young anymore."
Still powerful. And I mean, it's not one of those really old gigantic ones that just sleeps all the time. That thing's got some energy.
Is that as far as you go, level 12, or you go further?
Nah, I've been further. I've been probably 16, 17.
16.
So it depends. You got to take it in small chunks. You can't just head all the way down. That's a mistake others make. They just try to like tunnel their way down as quick as possible. They end up out of supplies, hurt, surrounded.
So how many levels do you go down a day, do you think?
Usually like to keep it to about 3 or 4 at the most. That's if things are going kind of well. But that part of the area, if you think you know what's coming, you have a tendency to, well, you get surprised. Take it slow.
Cool. She smiles and says, "Well, don't worry. I won't let anyone else onto your little nest egg. You guys enjoy yourself tonight."
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna take it back. I want to retcon one thing.
Yes.
They are gonna go in later today.
Later today.
Yeah, because otherwise you've got to wait and stuff. Like you know that they're a little bit later. They're having some drinks right now, waiting for a few other people to show up, and then they're gonna head in.
Cool. So do you guys do it together, or?
I got my guys, a group that we go down Um, we caught wind of some stuff. We're kind of hoping.
Do you want me to see if I can get you some more equipment? I do have the employee discount. For preferred customers, of course.
What you got? And we're fairly well equipped, but if there's something that will be useful down there, you got more healing potions, stuff like that.
Yes, let me go get you the menu. And she go like I think they like have a menu that they like have like equipment and like potions and stuff on that they give out as well as like the normal just like food and drink menu.
Mm-hmm.
So she goes and gets a few and hands them out.
Okay. Yeah, he's sort of looking through. He's like, I got a little bit left over. Could use some, couple more healing potions.
Sure. Yeah, she would go she would handle it, and then when she's trying to like sort out the change, she would just try to like put the coin among the change.
Okay.
But like she would be like, don't worry about the payment now. Like she would like wait for them to have a few more drinks before sorting out, just so they're just a little bit more drunk before giving them the change and the coin.
Okay.
But yeah, she just sweet talking like until they go in, I guess.
Okay. So sort of talking there. Samrio, Scala.
Mm-hmm.
Scala makes it your way. Comes up, is like, so, what do you know about the guy that these guys have been talking to? Kind of like motions over towards Toriath.
Like personally, not really anything. I know they like the blood wine a lot, but apparently Ras got them covered, so they're drinking a shitload of it.
Well, no, I mean, so the thing is that they'll usually when they go into the smaller parts, and Toriath is not the guide for it, but you'll have some people that work there for the bar will kind of guide them through, in particular some of the more newbie areas of it, and they kind of stay out of the way when they go through, but they at least let them know things like traps that are down there, so they're there so that people don't get lost.
So wait, these guides are like employees of the Demon's Rune?
Yeah.
And she's specifically asking about one of the guides?
Yeah, like who's what do you know about the one who's taking these guys down?
Yeah, it's I'm terrible with names, so we'll just did you have a name for him or do I need to find one?
I can create a name real quick. Let's go with Diamond Calder.
Diamond Calder. Sounds like a wrestler. Oh yeah, Diamond's taking them down today, and you know, Diamond's been working here for years. Diamond knows these the lower levels like back of his hand.
How on the straight and narrow is Diamond?
Is this Scala asking me?
Yeah.
Or, well, I mean, Diamond's Diamond, you know, he's a strapping young lad. I mean, he does his job well and, you know, works hard and parties harder.
Oh, good. So a partier.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit of a drinker.
That's good to know. So, listen. How do you feel about some of these assholes that come in here?
How do I feel about all of them in general?
Well, or just, I mean, let's say it kind of points to the table with Torith and them.
I mean, a lot of them are cocky assholes, but I mean, it comes along with the territory being in the service industry. You know, you just put your head down and serve them, and know that they're going down to get into some shit that might kill them, and hopefully buy some drinks and tip me well before they die.
Not a bad outlook to have on it. Can you switch me in for the guide for them?
Scala, I'm not sure the boss would want me changing the schedule like that. I mean, you know how he is.
It's the listen. These depths are not. They're not going very deep. It'll be fine. I just want to get a little bit of practice down there.
Like, it's not that I don't trust you. I mean, I think you would do fine on the depths. I just don't know how your dad would react if he saw I put your name on the schedule.
Okay, fine. I can see what I can do.
I'll tell you what. If you get Diamond to switch with you, and Diamond's okay with it, and the party's okay with it, I don't see a reason why I couldn't put you on there.
Okay. Sounds good. I will see what I can do for you.
And is Samrio like the de facto manager when the proprietor is not there?
Pretty much. Check a few things here. So yeah, at that point, she then kind of heads off, sort of looking for Diamond at this point. Both Wrath and actually probably all three of you at this point. 'Cause I don't know if Nastya is kind of coming and going. How far away is your home?
You talking about Samrio's?
Yeah.
I mean, I would just say like, maybe like a couple blocks at most.
Okay. We'll say at this point well, if my note kind of come here. A couple guys walk into the bar. Looks like some roughs from down one of the ways. You're not quite sure. They don't seem like the standard. They don't scream adventurers. Some come in, and I'll say, Wrath, you probably hear them going, looking for a kid named Ronan. You know him?
Are they asking Wrath?
No, you hear them asking some people as they're kind of going through the bar.
Wrath will stand up. He's like, kind of calls over. Oh, you're looking for Ronan. Yeah, please have a seat. I'll go find him for you. Loud enough that everyone like Samrio can hear.
Okay.
Yeah, Samrio is just like watching and not like trying to draw attention. Just drying some glasses or something, looking over.
And I motion them to a table.
Yeah, I think I would.
Please sit.
I would look for Nastya. Like, maybe she can.
Yeah, Nastya's been bouncing up and down, like, place.
Okay.
Look, Nastya.
Yeah?
Look, we got a table of customers over there. They're looking for Ronan. I don't know if they have anything to do with Ronan getting jumped yesterday, but look, you think you can whittle them for some info? See where they come from?
She looks over at the table. What are the people like?
These look like some street toughs. They're not like from in this area. You don't recognize any of like the colors or tattoos and such that they've got from being some stuff you see here. They seem to be sort of out of their area. They're not the standard type who come in here.
She scrunches her face a little bit, and then just looks at Samrio and is like, "How much is this worth?"
I don't know, but I'm in charge of the schedules until the boss comes back. So, how would you like a couple days off?
Okay, but that starts as soon as I'm done here.
Wait, you gonna take the rest of the night off?
Uh, I mean, I can spare maybe an hour or so.
All right, I'm sure in an hour most people are gonna be heading down anyways. So
Yeah,
yeah,
cool. She would head over to them and smile and say, "So, what can I get you guys?
Yeah, we're looking for Ronan.
You're looking for Ronan. I haven't seen you guys around here before, and Ronan doesn't work here, but I could probably send him a message if you want."
Is he somewhere nearby?
I imagine he might be. There's a few places he could be. Let me just. Do you guys want a drink first?
Yeah, get us some beer.
Cool. She would go get some beers, bring them over, and then sort of like if there's like a seat, like sit beside the one who seems to be the one talking or is the leader and stuff, and it says, "So, has Ronan been a bad boy or friends of his?"
Ronan brought some stuff into.
I think Mike just froze.
The what?
Maybe he's just leaning in for, in anticipation. Oh, no, there he
Oh,
is.
nope.
back.
Okay.
Did
Oh,
you
sorry.
guys-
Yeah. He goes. Yeah, Ronan did some wrong to some friends of ours, and that's something we've got to take care of.
Oh. Well, I gotta say, you look a lot more impressive than the most of the guys that come in here. Do you work with someone in particular? I mean, I see you've all got that thing, the cool mark.
And one of them just kind of like the hand hits the table, and just goes, "Listen, we just need to see Ronan. Now, if he ain't here, we'll keep looking."
Hey, listen. Tell you what, I'll go talk to some of the others and see if they know where he's hanging out tonight. If not, I'll get you some more drinks, and you know what? They're on the house tonight, yeah? Enjoy yourselves.
Yeah, thanks.
She gets up, heads behind the bar, and is like, "Yeah, they want to kill you, son."
Oh God. We need to get rid of them. What are they drinking?
Just the rat piss we normally serve.
Okay. I'm gonna like look behind the bar for something to put in their drinks that'll I don't know, give them the bubble guts, I guess you could say.
I would say on that one, if you want to go ahead, you can spend a D6, a plot point to get a D6, like a mild poison.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Who's working security tonight? Since we're in the, since we have access to a better security guard than normal.
Yeah, I would say you probably just have one of the regular security guys. There's also the fact that you can if trouble starts up, often you can get people from the adventurers area to kind of come in.
And the Steyr is given danger pay sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, Nasai, you are probably also security when you're there.
Yeah. She's just in case because she tends to break things.
Yeah. Yeah, and then like you kind of look over and like the three of the guys who are talking are all like down, heads real kind of close and sort of
Yeah.
looking around.
I like you use that mild poison slash strong laxative in their beers, and
Alright.
I actually like walk out from behind the bar and place them down. I'm like, yeah. The server said this was on the house, so
Oh, she
Sorry
totally
about that.
she totally would have been like, telling me he's at that shitty bar he sometimes plays at. Or
oh
something.
yeah. The what was it called? The Thieves. I can't remember the name of it.
Or the Angels Rest. That'll be hilarious.
Let's see. You wrote down where you played at before. I do not think I wrote down where he played at before. Yeah, we can make up a name for.
Yeah, it was like the Thieves Hideout or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was.
Right? So I would say since you got the thing on there, go ahead and make a roll and add that. The D6 will be an extra D6 that's added to your normal roll because because you've created that asset.
So what does that mean? I roll it after?
No, you would roll it along with it.
Okay. Um. I'm definitely putting. I think this is definitely love because I'm doing this for Ronin.
Mhm.
I'll use Nastya because she's kind of like in on this.
Okay.
She's young and naive and living dangerously. Um, and I got the D6 for the mild potion. I can use another one, or
Yeah,
Or do I have
you can use one of your distinctions and the D6 for the. Basically, it's called a push die that you get to use to create. Basically, to give yourself a an extra die to roll.
um, I guess I'm just gonna use likable again. Maybe that'll make me more believable. Whatever I tell him. Let's roll that. Oh wow, that was pretty good, huh?
Yeah, I would say take a plot point as well. And I've got an opportunity there. Someone can either spend a plot point to buy down one of the Doom Pool, or you can, if you got something that goes with an opportunity, or you can just let it go.
I'm kind of unsure exactly how that works. Like, I could take down the Doom Pool or what?
Or like sometimes you'll have a thing that says like on an opportunity you can do something along with which I think with your stuff you probably won't have. That's usually more ability type stuff.
Okay, yeah, I don't see anything that would work with.
Well, 18 against a 7. Yeah, so them like we just got. Oh, oh God, what's the bathroom? Like all of them, they've been drinking. Is this sort of you said bubble guts or is this like puking or?
Yeah, it's shitting.
Yeah, so like those four end up like rushing towards the bathroom, almost like fighting each other, sort of get in. One of them actually runs out the front. Anybody do anything while this is going on?
Wrath comes over to Sam Rio. He's like, "That'll work for now, but you have bigger problems. They're coming here. You need to find out who sent them. Are you sure you don't need any help with this?"
I mean, look, I really don't want to tell Wrath that I'm now working for Clodagh. Because the last thing this place needs is another information broker. So, I'm just like, no. I'm sure, I'm sure it'll just blow over. I think this is just the temporary thing. Once people are gonna forget about it, right?
I mean, those don't look like Cloda's men. I mean,
Oh,
I
they're
didn't see the
definitely not
face.
Cloda's people.
I didn't see the face tattoos, but if they're coming for like round 2 of beatdown, well, I mean, from what you said, he was in pretty bad shape. The only shape they want him in now is dead. And I would hate for that to happen to my nephew.
It's not gonna happen. Don't God, you worry as much as your sister. I grabbed the
She has some of my sense, yes.
I grabbed the 2 mugs and I'm like, look, I talked to Claude earlier. We worked it out. Everything's good on that front, okay? Let the underbelly of this town
Like-
deal with the underbelly of this town.
So she's going to take care of it?
I don't know about this specifically, but we worked out a deal.
And what to keep in mind too, if you ever want to, especially like PC versus PC, if you're trying to push someone into something, like kind of getting into conflicts with each other, remember also does help.
I was going to say, I want to, like, conflict I want to get into is I want you to admit you're in over your head and that you need outside help.
That sounds like going for insecure.
That's
You
what
give
I'm
me-
trying to push for.
Yeah, you give me half a second to use the bathroom, and I'll be right back.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, and I think Sam Rio is just trying not to tell you
Exactly.
what happened with Claude.
Well, and and I think you could still get that because, as long as you don't tell me what happened to Clodagh, but you admit help, I think that you need help.
Right. Yeah. I think Sam Rio is the type that's just too stubborn to ask for help. Does that make sense?
And I'm back.
Okay. So I'm trying to convince Sam Rio to admit he's in over his head and that he needs help. And so I'm going to be rolling my loyalty because I'm loyal to my family, which is a D4. That's about all I'm loyal to, apparently. Sam Rio, and I'm going to be rolling my... I don't know. That's not really genius. I think that's all I'm rolling. Are you stressed at all?
Yeah, insecure.
Okay. So you're already sweating a little bit, so I can roll that in as well.
What's your insecure die?
D10.
D10.
Oh, yeah. So,
Okay, so I roll. Let's do that and make the effect. D10. You also have the option of rolling in my angry stress, which is D6 at this point.
Okay. So I just roll straight up against it pretty much in this
yeah,
argument.
like either you can do one of 2 ways. You can either figure out what you're going to roll and then say what happens, or sort of say what happens and then, or say what you do, because each one is a response, so back and forth.
Okay. Let me clear. I'm gonna say this is, even though it's only a D4, I'm gonna say this is attention because attention only puts a target on you.
Mm.
I'll roll a D8 for the relationship. Then your angry is what, a D6?
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm gonna add another D6 because I'm gonna be a smart ass to you. And then roll.
Yeah, I mean, you could be saying something like, well, it's not like you can help without any magic either, anyways.
You are in plot points on ones and
Yeah, well, yeah.
PC.
Grab a 1, yeah, on that one, because now I get to add a D8 to the Doom pool.
Now, you have the option of beating my roll if you spend a plot point to include your additional die.
Because you can spend a plot point to also add an extra to your total.
Mm-hmm.
It would mean that the effect die would be a D4. If there's no effect die, it defaults to a D4.
Oh, okay. No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'll let Rat take this one. But I think like Sam Rio says something along the lines of like, just because you're angry that Adon doesn't come around here anymore as much as you'd like, don't mean that you get to just butt in on everybody else's family business.
Like, that's exactly why I am butting in, because it is family business. He's my sister's son. And if your decisions or his decisions result in him being dead, I'm going to have a very unhappy sister.
I would never make a decision that would end up in him being dead. I would end up dead first.
Do you think she would be any less unhappy if you ended up dead?
I don't know. It depends on what day it is.
Like,
That's just Sam Rio being a smartass.
Right.
You know?
like, what has he gotten into?
Look, okay, all right. Here's as much as I know. He was running, or you already know he was running packages for Clota. Okay. If I'd imagined whoever those guys are that are now destroying the bathroom, which I'm almost regretting doing because I'm probably gonna have to clean it later.
Yeah, yep. Didn't think that through.
Is that they're, I don't know, maybe they're, I don't know, they think that maybe Ronan can eyeball him or identify him in any way. I don't know. I don't know what their end goal is, but look, if you want to jump in this, you can. I'm not going to stop you.
Like the way I see it, you have two people who'd want your son dead. The people who robbed him, and the people he was supposed to deliver the package to.
Clota, I talked to Clota earlier. Look, that's all worked out. The only people that probably want him dead right now is probably the same ones that roughed him up.
Like, Mastaya.
Yes. She's like behind the bar, putting away her apron and just like putting like her own coat on and stuff because she's already ready to fucking shift.
You know, a couple rougher individuals, I'm sure.
What are you trying to say?
Well, I mean, you work with our customers, so
I guess. So yeah, what?
Once those two have sorted their issues out,
Yeah,
We need to have a
lot
talk.
of issues.
We need to have a talk with them somewhere private.
What? You want me to?
We need to find out why they're trying to kill my lovely nephew.
You want me to rough him up?
I mean, I'm sure that would be part of the process. Yes.
I mean, they're already somewhere quite private. I don't think anyone.
I would rather not question them in the privy.
Okay.
All right, listen, Jesus Christ. Listen, we're gonna talk, but God damn it, not now.
Right. She's mulling over in her head and is like, that scroll that Miss Moneybags wanted. Like, he's gonna be down there for fucking a week or whatever. She can easily get to. Yeah, fuck it, I got time.
Good. Arrange it and I'll get my things.
What do you mean arrange it? I thought we were just gonna like follow these guys and then beat them the fuck up.
Like, we need to question them before we just trash them.
We can do both.
But ideally not in the privy. So arrange for a location and then get someone to help if you can't handle it yourself.
Okay, I'll tell them that he's over at his favorite spot behind that bra, and then she realizes she's gonna say brothel and just looks at Samria. You know that I know a place where he likes to hang out. I'll just send them there, and then we can meet up there, and it'll be cool. It'll be fine. So he totally likes to hand out at the library and not anywhere seedy.
The library is a brothel over on 8th Street.
Yeah, it's a library brothel. You talk about this library is the most notorious brothel in town.
Those prostitutes are very well read.
Yes.
Eastern Illinois University, which is there's essentially, if you're driving through the cornfield, suddenly there's a very small college. If I recall right, they actually have a bar named the library.
Nice.
So it's like, Mom, I'm at the library. I can't talk right now.
Awesome. Cool.
All right. So you like kind of wait for them to sort of come back and grab their stuff.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
she'll go over to them.
And so one of them comes and goes, I didn't think this was going to be part of the curse. We didn't even touch those things. What the hell's going on? All of us the same? Are you? Oh, they kind of stop when they look over at you.
She smiles and says, "Yeah, I heard that he's over at the well, he's trying to get into. He never normally gets in. Insert name of brothel here.
Yeah, into a brothel. And there's a moment he goes, yeah, I know the one. And he goes through and he puts down like a say a silver piece, and then goes, if he's there, we're coming back and there's more for you.
Thanks."
Now, can we get some ice?
I like look over and I'm like, oh God, you fellas, you guys okay? Looking rough.
Been rough day.
Hey, you want some fresh sliced ginger? Or it helps with stomach.
Sure.
Maladies.
Yeah, they kind of throw some money down, and if you've got some stuff for them.
Yeah, I give him like some fresh sliced ginger.
All right. Y'all wait for them to leave, and then.
Yep.
Or do something else. Okay.
Yeah.
So they end up kind of then quickly heading out.
Yeah. Nastai waits for like 3 minutes, and then she like salutes the other two, like and then just heads like to follow them.
Okay. So are all three of you gonna end up going there, or?
I mean, I certainly am.
I don't know if Sam Rio would go there. 'Cause I think Sam Rio would know what's up. Like,
There's going to be aggressive questioning.
yeah, and I think he's just like, you know what? If Wrath wants to do this, let Wrath do this. He, like I said, like in my relationships, he treats Wrath like his wife because Wrath and his wife are so alike. So like, when his wife's starting to get antsy, he's just like, whatever, do what you want. So,
Okay. So it sounds like Wrath is going to meet them there while Nastya is following.
Yeah, she knows where they're going, so
Mhm.
basically she just waited like a couple of minutes and then is just basically taking whatever shortcut she knows to get there first.
Okay, so yeah, so just going to where they're going to be, but not necessarily
Yeah, yeah.
following.
Yeah,
I would say Wrath probably gets there while you're still waiting. You have you have a feeling when you finally see them sort of coming up that they may have had to stop another time or so. There is probably an alley that stinks a little bit more than it used to.
Oh god.
And I'm wearing some of my old adventuring gear, which is why I took a little bit longer. Something a little bit more impressive looking.
And are you both like out in the open, or are you just sort of tell me as they're walking their way in, walking a little gingerly?
She's in the side alley that leads around to the back of the brothel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she occasionally just looks at Wrath to make small talk and is like, "Why aren't you wearing the pointy hat? Don't wizards normally wear the pointy hat?"
Like, the pointy hat is so it serves no purpose.
Yeah, but it looks pretty cool.
Plus, it's offensive. We don't all wear those.
I mean, I have the staff, I have the armor. What more do you need?
Yeah, that's a problem. Wizards don't wear armor. They're just normally in like robes. Are you sure you're a wizard?
The benefit of armor made from the purple, as we're sort of having this, esoteric argument,
Yeah,
like the benefit of the armor made from the purple dragon is does not interfere with spellcasting for most mages.
Right. Just saying though, the aesthetic is just needs some work. And then I guess they just.
I think
they
it looks
walk
quite
out.
sharp.
The hell, guy! Like, I got all done it up.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess they walk over and she's
Yeah,
like,
they come around the corner.
Yep. Do they see you, or are you hidden?
Oh, I'm visible because I don't
yeah.
can't hide
As
with
soon
shiny purple dragon armor.
as they come around like the back alley, she's there and she's like, "Hi guys!" and she just grabs one and immediately throws them into the wall.
Okay. I would say go ahead and make a roll on that.
Cool. Fuck. Now I have to. It's absolutely authority. Does relationships come into this at all?
Yeah, basically you go all the way down each of those things.
Yeah, but like, are there any that would come into this at all?
I mean, you're doing this you're doing it for Ronan. You're probably more doing it for Samrio.
Yeah, that's true. So that's a D4 because apparently I hate everyone. Distinctions and abilities. So you're saying I can spend a plot point to do 2 of these?
Yeah, you can spend a plot point to add a second. They're all kind of considered distinctions, but to add one to it.
She is daring because she's not even trying to be clever about this.
But also very strong.
She's also very strong. And extras and locations. None come into play here. Unless we could say we're doing this for Ronan.
Yeah, but he's not helping, so
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not helping. Okay. God, this is not going to be the best roll in the world. Ugh.
Oh, did you just roll?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I usually hear the bloop that did not pop up. So yeah, then you want to drag in. I'm guessing probably
The top
a
two?
10 for your total. Yeah, like 10 for your total, and then probably the D6. Now you don't always have to take the top 2 because you choose one for the effect die. And the effect die just matters what size die it is.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So as you kind of reach out to grab, I roll the Doom Pool. Oh, okay, 1. I rolled 2.
What the fuck?
I rolled 2 opportunities. So what I do is, when you're not up against like a specific statted thing, I can just use the Doom Pool for it.
Is there any way I can sort this?
Now, if anybody wants to, like I've got 2 ones, so if you want, you can spend 2 plot points to remove 2d6 from the Doom Pool for further on. But
I only have 1 plot point left, so.
okay, people could spend 1 if they wanted to, or if you can keep them. So yeah, at this point, when you grab them, so you grab them and throw the one against the wall, and then there's almost a tug of war thing until someone can't beat what the other one rolled. So he had 11 against yours. So as you kind of throw the one against the wall, he actually is clearly like an experienced fighter, sort of chops in on like the collarbone, your collarbone, to have you sort of drop you, and then steps back for a second. And the other ones are a little bit more alerted at this point. So then, what do you do? Because you want to see if you can beat their 11.
I want to try and beat their 11. So yeah. So how does this continue? Do I roll more?
Well, yeah. So what you do is just say what you do, then make a roll. And the roll, if you spend another plot point, might be exactly the same roll you did before.
Yeah. Well, she's going to try and basically she's going to be like super quick and kind of like spidery and like climb like just basically just get onto his back and just have her arm around his neck and is just trying to choke the fucker out.
Okay.
So yeah, nothing changed except how many do we start with? A certain amount of plot points each session?
2, but I think from last time we just went with what we still had because it was a shorter session because we had to finish character stuff at the beginning.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you would have had like at least 2 from last time.
Cool. I'm gonna say that I have 1 more then.
In which case, I will buy one of those ones off of you.
Okay.
Because I had like 5 at the end of the last session.
I'm gonna spend the second plot point to just get another thing then. So it's a D6 for strength, and then I'm gonna add the D12 because she's athletic and fast.
Okay.
Oh, please, Jesus. That'll do it. So do we get rid of the old dice?
Yeah, so give yourself a plot point for the 1. I'm going to add that back straight back into the Doom Pool.
Yeah.
So you have to beat their 11, so it looks like you take the 7 and the 8, and then you've got a D4 effect.
Yes. There's
Okay.
a D6 there. Is the 1? Does the 1 count?
When you roll a 1, that gets added to like the Doom Pool, and then you can't use those. You can't use those in your totals.
Okay, yeah, that's D4 then.
Okay, so they will have since they just got it, they'll still have the same total from last time. To roll, they're probably not going to beat yours, which
Oh!
12. Actually, you've got a 15.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to spend one of those the Doom Pool dice and get rid of it.
How could you?
So that the total is
What the fuck?
17 with a D8. Those 2 go away. So yeah, so as you kind of go on the back, he actually kind of like hits up against the like kind of headbutts you back against the building. Surprisingly better fighter than you were thinking he'd be.
Yeah. He's actually starting to sweat, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So how does assistance work in this one?
So assistance with
I
this
haven't
one.
worked for crime.
So let me double check on here because there's interference. I think the other thing you can do is a plot point to give a D6, or I think you can actually roll. So make a roll against a Doom Pool and then add your effect die. Assist. Let me double check.
Is there anything I could do with plot points not being in the scene, or?
Oh yeah, you can generally spend. Well, it depends on Like there's getting rid of dual pool dice you can do even if you're not in the scene. Yeah, interfering in a contest. Yeah, you spend a plot point to jump in and rolls dice before the outcome is resolved. If they beat whichever the highest roll of the other two characters was, they become the new winner.
Okay.
Okay.
How many of these thugs are there?
3.
3. Okay. So they win again. Fuck. Okay, so first off, I'm gonna spend that plot point to knock one of them out immediately using my strength power. Throw
Okay.
or knock it out of the scene. So basically, what she does, she rears up to take a punch, and her elbow hits the guy behind her.
Okay. And he goes like flying over. That dude just goes.
Yeah, she turns and is like, "Oh."
Like the crack against the building of the dude's head is rough.
Oh god. Yeah, she turns and like gives a that was sorry. Yeah, she wants to punch this guy real hard.
And I'm trying to intimidate to just make them back down. Period.
Okay.
Cool.
So we'll, if she fails here, we'll pop over to you.
Yep.
I don't have any more plot points, so I'm gonna have to remove that D12, which sucks. 8. God damn it.
Okay. Well, so they succeeded by more than that, so I'm gonna by more than 5. So what I can do is I can actually pop up the die to a D10. So take a D10 injured, as he actually manages to like kind of go through like solar plexus back to the face, and then gets his way. And the thing is, and not the way back to the face, but like if you have soap in your world, he didn't use it.
Oh god.
God, so there's that smell as his hand hits you of the awful thing that Sam Rio put in their thing. Like it's a little overwhelming.
So yeah, my character's just going, ooh, no, I'm out.
Okay, so in this case, yeah, as this is happening, then what are you doing? So yeah, she takes hit, so take a D10 injured on that one. You've been hurt a bit. And then Wrath?
Yeah. So I slam the staff down and just call out enough. As I'm trying to get their attention and cow them.
Okay.
So I'm challenging my attention because I'm not talking about knowledge here. I'm trying to impress upon them my power, as if I still had some. And then I'm using my relationship with Nastia because I am trying to take care of her since I got her employer killed. So and D8 and
for the other two, when you challenge one of your relationships or values, it triples it for that roll, puts it into your growth pool, and then drops it down for the rest of the session, and you can rewrite it at the end.
And I'm going to let's see. I'm going to spend a plot point and use this location. I can spend one to gain a 2-day location. And this is a brothel I've frequented a number of times. So, I know that if there's a disturbance back here, the guards will be called.
Mm-hmm. Maybe they've been called on me before. Maybe you should shut up and mind your own business.
Okay, so let's. Am I rolling against their roll?
You'll roll because that one's that.
I'll be
contest
setting
is finished.
stakes. Okay.
Yep.
So let me roll this and then add in a 2d8 location.
Okay, get yourself a plot point, though that D10 will not be rolled into this one.
Okay, that's what I got.
Well, they have a 12, which is not going to succeed on yours. So yeah, you just take that dude out. Or no, I'm sorry, you're impressing them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just like, I want them to, assume that I'm a badass enough that, that this isn't worth my time
Okay,
to
so
kill them.
You have a D8, which takes it up to a D10 because you exceeded by more than 5. Yeah, so at that point, they both just sort of stop.
And I guess I'm going for afraid stress.
Yeah. And yeah, they make a note. So they both just kind of stop and like move back just a little bit. And both of them look like they're sort of terrified. They're like, "Man, we got no trouble with you. We're looking for Ronan."
Like, and why are you looking for that boy?
We boosted some stuff off of him and we opened it up. Just a ton of ghosts came out and kicked out most of our people.
Oh, really? So you're
What?
learning that crime doesn't pay.
He brought cursed shit into our place.
Like, sounds like you brought it to your place. Who do you work for? And I slam my staff down again. I said, who do you work for?
Yeah, I wrote this down last night. Yeah, the ones who they were. Were the. The 6th Street Crusaders. They're a relatively. They're kind of growing in their area. They're in a slum. They've gotten a couple neighborhoods that you're aware of that they kind of have under their control, but they are they're kind of on the downfall, or they have been on the downfall. It sounds like they might even be more on the downfall at this point.
I'm fairly familiar with the city. Where is that in relation to Oda?
Sorry, just a sec. Some of the territory abuts kind of close to Cloda's territory. And were you told where Ronan was beaten up?
Yeah, the Gray Griffin or whatever.
Yeah, the Grey Griffin, where he was on his way, is just on the other side of the Crusaders' territory.
Like, you idiots. You thought that someone as skilled and naive as a boy would be carrying something of value? That Clodagh would entrust something like that to someone so unskilled?
I was running stuff through the area.
Where did you get the information that that the stuff was going to be delivered at that time?
We had a mole that told us.
I'll tell you where it was. It was from Clodagh herself. She set you up.
Kind of pause a bit, and they're like, "Okay."
And she set up the boy. So your trouble is not with him.
And they both kind of like looking at kind of both of you. Okay.
Where was she hit?
Where was he hit?
Where was
Ronan
Messiah
was-
hit in the face? Like, was it in the face or the stomach or what?
Both of those. It's an elbow, fist.
Oh yeah, then yeah, she's like probably like holding her nose, like there's like a nosebleed, and she's like holding her nose up, and she's like, "Are we done here?"
Like, if you have trouble, you're going to have to deal with her.
Hi.
At this point, you hear from behind you. This, and one of the guards kind of pops out. "Hey, Wrath, been a while.
Hey, Charles, how are you?
There a problem here?"
None at all.
Sort of looks at you two, and looks over at them, and goes, "These two don't belong here, is my guess. What happened to what happened to the fence?"
Don't worry about it.
Like, they'll fix it before they go.
Yeah. Well, Like one of them kind of goes and they kind of drag their person like over. They're just yeah, we'll take care of it. Do you do anything else, or do you head back to the Demon's Ruin?
Like, so do I have your word that you will deal with Clodagh directly instead of those pawns that she's put in play?
Everything you said makes 100% sense, and also it means something happens to Ronan. It's not like she's gonna care. It's not sending a message. It's not doing anything. Clodagh's
Something happens to Ronan, we will care.
He kind of like blanches a little bit at that. He goes, "You know what? We're not even going to be on this part of town again."
Good. I think we're settled here.
Okay. Yeah, they go to start working on repairing the fence.
And I'm walking back with Nastya. I'm like, don't worry, I won't tell you. I won't tell the proprietor about this. Handing her another handkerchief for her bloody nose.
Yeah, she swipes it and just remains quiet. And it is just like there were 3 of them, you know.
Did you see? Did you see the 3? Hey, so it sounds like we're probably at a good point for sort of end, like towards the end of session. One thing you can do is a tag scenes. Basically, at the end, which does a couple things. It lets you sort of wrap up some stuff from it, but also gives you an opportunity to help each other sort of heal stress. Because when players have a sort of a scene together, one thing you're able to do is they can essentially roll against the stress you've got if they're trying to help get rid of what you have. Which means when your stress is eliminated, it goes into your growth pool a second time, or rather, it goes into your growth pool along with the highest of whatever is left from what you have.
Yeah, so I think my taking care of Nastya a little bit on the way back is a way of trying to take care of her stress.
Okay, so the stress you've got is just your oh wait, you have insecure and injured, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so
I might deal with my insecure if I'm honest.
Yeah, so make a note you got your injured too, because sometimes if you keep some of them, you also add in the so when you do your growth pool at the end, if you challenge something, your relationship or value, that gets put in your growth pool when you do it. You have an opportunity to rewrite it at the end. If you do not rewrite a statement or a value, it stays lower and then goes into the growth pool. Or rather, another thing goes up. If you don't rewrite a relationship, it stays lower but also goes into your growth pool. And then any of your stress that someone has helped get rid of goes in there, and then the highest of your current. So yeah, because I think you actually have Nastya should have both insecured and injured.
In growth or
No, in stress.
yes.
We've got insecure for Samrio, and then Wrath has got a little bit of angry left over.
Yeah, so maybe I take her through the back door of the inn and just treat her in my court in my office, where I have still have bottles of various things.
Cool.
Okay, so what will happen in each of these? You have sort of the scene. You can talk like the narration, or you can talk it through depending on the thing. The person trying to take care of your stress will make a roll, and then what you'll do is roll the stress dice that you have, and they're trying to beat the total from your stress, and then basically say which one they're
you
trying
roll
to get rid
all
of.
of your stress, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm just chatting as I'm making a compress and stuff for for your nose. I'm like, yeah, 3 of them. Doesn't matter if you're a demon or not. There's if they outnumber you, they're going to be able to get behind you, and trying to placate her, knowing that she got her ass whooped.
Yeah, she's got like a.
We're trying to make it sound like it's an everyday occurrence.
She's got like a dour look on her, like.
I mean,
a,
you were able to carry around, that sword that I've seen you with,
Yeah. She's got like that fucking like moody teen look on her face.
I was the one to tell you to keep them alive. Otherwise, you could have just killed them. And, so I'm doing this as I'm, sort of fixing her up. So I'm going to roll my. I'm going to roll my honesty because they can't handle the truth. Then I'll roll my relationship, D10, D8, and then also my private parlor because I have restore as one of my features.
Okay, and then you'd roll 2d10, Lexa?
I roll 2d10. Okay, good.
Yeah, you basically roll both of your stress. So a 10 total.
Well, I have my location on top of that.
8.
Oh. Yeah, that will... Yeah, that 8 has been beaten. So what'll happen is you can basically say which of the stress goes away, and that goes into your growth pool.
Guess a insecure. I think like in her like teen stupid way, she's just like, no, I hadn't have been there, you might have died.
Like, exactly. It was all bluff on my part.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was attempting to treat her insecure by puffing her up.
Okay. So yeah, so that'll do since he beat your insecure, you'll go ahead and place the D10 from insecure into your growth pool. But then also, because we're toward the end of the session, your insecure will also go into your growth pool and then drop your insecure down by 1 die.
Okay. So wait, hold on.
you
Which
mean?
one am I getting?
Okay,
Yeah.
so basically 2d10 is going into your growth pool.
Cool.
Your insecure is going away.
And then my injured goes down by 1.
Yeah, it goes down to a d8.
Okay, cool.
Because you always take the growth pool is any stress that's been gotten rid of, any values or relationships that have been challenged, and then your current highest stress die. Okay, so that was your tag scene. Does someone else want to have a tag scene to work with someone on to kind of wrap some things up from the session and then help relieve some stress?
Yeah, I mean, Sam Rae could do a tag scene. Like, I imagine, like, I don't know if Ra's up for it, but, like, I imagine, like, this is, like, the closing. Like, we're closing up everything. And you see, like, Sam Rio come out of the bathroom with, like, a bucket. And Sam Rio's just, like, looking green. Like, he just had to clean this nasty bathroom. And, like, he's like, hey, Wrath, Kendi knew I was working late without the proprietor being here, and I had to close up, but she promised me some leftovers. You're hungry.
I would like that.
Cool. So, like, what I'm imagining is, like, we go back to the house, and, like, we're there, and we're, like, sitting at the table, eating dinner, and, like, Ronan comes down. Like, it's real dark because it's real late,
Mm-hmm.
But Ronan comes down, and he kind of walks in, grabs, like, some ice and puts it over his nose, and, like, sits down at the table, and then little Ruby kind of runs in and, like, sees, like, her uncle and her dad and her brother sitting there at the table. She runs over and she climbs up on the stool and goes and grabs the cookie jar. It just carries over this big cookie jar to us and sets it on the table.
Wait, can I make a small change there?
Mhm.
Brings over the new cookie jar.
The new cookie jar,
Because
yes.
the old one got shattered.
Yeah, the new cookie jar, and brings it over and sits it on the table, and then it's like just kind of just like this Full House scene of
Yeah, a family scene.
yeah, of everybody enjoying a cookie again.
I mean, it's definitely hard for me to stay angry during that if you want to, make
Right,
a
that-
roll against my stress.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of aiming at. Like, here, forget about your love life for,
I'll say I'll be rolling a die 6, so if you can beat a 5.
Yeah, hopefully I should be able to do that. Let's see. This is definitely love. Yeah, it's a D8. And I'll just roll likable. Roll.
Because people like me.
You do.
Yeah, 10. Or do you count all three?
Just the high. It's
Just
always
the two
the
highest.
the two highest.
Yeah, so that's a 10.
Cool.
Likeable's real strong. As like a stat.
It can be until you're like trying to be like aggressive towards people.
Yeah.
They're like,
Is it-
"Oh, you're funny."
It just works so far with what he's doing.
And what is Samrio's stress right now?
Insecure.
I think once the kids have gone to bed and we're having a drink, after the meal, I'll be like, I did take care of that problem for you today. Those roughs were mistakenly after Ronan, and I set them straight that Clodagh was really the one behind all of it.
Samara would be like, Clodagh was behind it.
She set Ronan up. She sent the mule to carry a package that she knew would be taken by their gang because she told them that he had the package. It's not a complicated plot, but one that they could easily fall for.
Right. I think Ronan, the audience could actually see, the Paul press on Roman's face because, Sam Rio's face because, Sam Rio's like agreed to help Clodagh because he thought, Clodagh wasn't behind any of it. He's like, fuck.
Like, it's all settled. If they have any more problem, they'll deal with Clodagh directly. But most likely, they'll just withdraw their territory a bit so they don't run into it again.
Yeah. I just wish I tried to do it myself, but
You need to learn to accept help when it's offered.
yeah, I guess you're right.
So go ahead and roll your stress die.
Five.
That's it. I'm going to be using love, my relationship with you, and I think in this case my genius, because that's how I figured all this stuff out, because I was so smart. D6, D8, D10. And I beat a 5 with a 14.
Yep. All right, so yours goes away.
But I like that seeing on your face the crestfallen looks. You just agreed to work for Clodagh.
Yeah. So I take I take insecure all the way off on stress, or
Yep, it'll go all the way away, and that goes into your growth pool.
okay.
It looks like we just got you the one. Okay. So at this point, one of the things I put next to everybody's basically how the growth pool is used. So if you want to raise up something, it's the new dice rating you want to go to. What I roll is a new dice rating you want to go to, plus I add in another die depending on what it is. Like a relationship, resource, or signature asset is a d6. Skill or value is I put a d8. Oops, value can't actually be raised. Sorry, that we can that value in certain ones can be. In this one, it kind of goes back and forth. Actually, skill can be taken out. We don't use those in this version. But yeah, distinction or power is a d10. Oh shoot! I made a mistake. Yeah, those are the only ones we need. Distinction, roll, or power, d10. Relationship, resource, or signature asset, if you've got one, is a d6. You can also simply spend a die if you want to create like a d6 relationship or something along those lines, like for a new.
Or you can spend a die for a special effect, right?
For special effect on those.
So what are I mean, when it says attribute or affiliation D12 and then distinction D10.
Some of those things we're not using, so let me actually fix that real quick. On all of these. Oh, what did that just do? Sorry, let me get the right. Copy that. Yeah, because there's a couple of those we're not using because this is for basically they took the 3 different flavors of Cortex and sort of you can kind of combine them. So we don't have rolls. That's a leverage thing. Distinction, powers, relationships, resource, or if you want like a signature asset, something that is sort of particular to your person. Let me actually fix these again real quick.
So the die value at the end of those, like where you say D10 or D6, does that mean that's the size you need to spend in order to up one?
No, that's what. So what happens is you end up rolling the dice you've got against like what you want them to be at. So taking like if you want to have a like whatever the new value would be, and I believe let me just double check. I think one of the things we can do is also just simply spend a die to get a new relationship at like a D6. So that you have one of those. Because relationships become kind of the most important thing. So you can spend a die to add one of those.
But it doesn't matter the size of the die in the growth pool, right? You're just using it to roll.
Yeah, so well the thing is with the growth pool stuff, what you would do is if you're rolling it, you would roll. We can do a thing where you can actually just roll the whole thing. If you roll the whole thing, it all goes away. Or if you want to gamble a little bit, you can roll less than. Because if you don't succeed, you can still raise it if you lower something else.
So now I'm going to spend one die, my d6, to add another special effect to my tome. I don't know what yet, but I'll figure that out before next session.
Okay. Like I said, like Pat, for example, we've got you right now, just the one die in there. That's something you can either save for next time or make a roll if you want to like raise something up. It would be whatever the new die rating is plus one of depending on what it is you're trying to raise, or you could just spend it and get a D6 relationship.
Well, like say I was going to use that D10 to raise Smartass to a D8. How would that work?
So I would roll a D8 because that's the new dice rating you're going to. It's a distinction, so I'd also roll a D10.
Okay, so it'd be that plus the stuff you typed up top.
Well, yeah, so basically I would roll those two things.
Mm-hmm.
I would roll the D8 plus a D10, and then you would roll the growth pool that you're using to see if you can beat that. If you beat it, it goes up. If not, you can still raise it as long as you lower something else.
Right, but if you spend the growth pool, it's spent regardless of if you beat it or not.
Yeah, like you can either roll all the stuff you have, or you can spend one just to get a D6 relationship, or you can kind of keep it.
Yeah, I guess I'll just keep it for now.
Okay. And Lexa, did you want to raise anything?
I don't know as of yet, so I think I'm just gonna wait until next session. Think over the week.
Okay. So I did want to check in as I was sort of looking through the stuff for prep and things. One thing I realized is Samrio, we didn't have any sort of relationships that kind of brought dramatic stuff in for you, but I think Clouda might be an opportunity to get Samrio a little more active in things. If that's something kind of thing you want to explore with the character.
No, that's fine. I like the idea that Sam Rio did something that he thought was in the best interest of his family, and it turned out to be wrong. Because, you know, Clodagh, like, wanted that to happen anyways. And then, like, this random dude shows up and is like, I'll pay you back for the mistake my son made. And it's like, well, your son didn't make a mistake. That's what was planned the whole time. But whatever. If you're willing to work for me, that's okay.
Cool. And then the other things, because also like the nature of this can be, particularly with the way we've got stuff set up, where it's the sort of the jumping back and forth a bit. One thing I was looking at was things to sort of kickstart stuff, but you're exploring some various things. Like it sounds like Steve, you're kind of interested in looking into things that might bring the magic back to the character, or having him explore that aspect.
Yeah, like like Duelist, providing me a potion that does something horrible, it's just like, is going to be expected, because I'm actually going to take it,
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely want to, play with that a little bit over, a few sessions.
Okay. And then with Lexa, one of the things we looked at with like getting the party more dramatic, it seems like you might be more interested in building up stuff with money bags across the street. Or is that, or is there a variety? I'm also thinking the things that you're sort of most interested in, because I can push harder on starting certain things, or leave some things where here's some options and then see where you go, or it can be like here's the things that interfere more directly, and so have to be.
I like the idea of like mixing loyalties and things like that, and having to, like, money bags is a good one because Wrath is just there, and then like stuff to do with the inn, like am I like loyal to the proprietor, or should I work against? Just like being pulled in different directions, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly the same thing I was seeing for Sam Rio. Because like Sam Rio is always going to be for his family, but doesn't mean that, if you pull Sam Rio in different directions, like he's going to absolutely hate it.
Okay.
Because he is like a nice guy and like wants to please everybody, but that's not possible.
Okay. So and I also
all the people to hit on her so she can punch them. She just wants to punch lots of people as well.
and once pulled in different directions / punching.
Punch people.
Okay. And so to see if this seems like cool going forward, this is sort of how I see sort of what seemed like play styles and what you said you're interested in. And also, Steve, is it like the magic stuff is what you want to explore more, and then the relationship with Adon, or are there other specifics?
I mean, there could be other things too, but I definitely want to, obviously I'm trying to get my magic back, so I'm willing to do things that probably are going to, bend his ethics at some point. So offering him a, quick fix, is something he would consider, so, maybe weighing with some of the issues with, just ethics in general, but.
Okay. Cool. So it seems like what might work best for y'all. Tell me if this sounds sort of right. Stuff where, because sometimes I'll do something where it's like we'll drop some stuff and then see where the players want to go. It sounds like you all might be more interested in if it's sort of a hard move to get the character into stuff, or would you rather here's a couple things and then see where you go?
I don't mind, really.
Yeah, I mean, a mix is fine of the two. Obviously, as Watchtower or whatever they call it now, you have the ability to hard frame scenes, and maybe just giving us that option too, and saying,
absolutely,
and giving us a little bit of notice and saying, after this scene, tell me what you're doing next, And
in general, rolling with that stuff is good. I just probably want to make sure that it's also. Because I can either can be fun and can be cool. I also just want to make sure it's something that's also fitting what everybody else Like if you got some hard scenes you want to do, fuck yeah, awesome.
Yeah, like I'm thinking like, you know, like Lexa and Steve said, a mixture. Thinking of it from like Sam Rio's point of view is like Sam Rio's never going to get himself into trouble if he can help it.
Yeah, so it's trouble's got to find him.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the opposite for Stein. She's gonna find trouble.
Okay. So I can have some fun with essentially getting situations that don't have to be trouble. That Nastya makes trouble. Yeah, and then we've got the personal aspects with Wrath, and then also getting involved in sort of what other people are doing. It seems to be the thing that you kind of move towards.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, cool. If all that sounds good, then I'll be able to sort of take that into prep for next time.
Cool.
And then
Gonna have to get going.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna head off.
Thanks, y'all. Had a good time,
Okay.
Thank you.
and I'll catch you later.
Bye now.
Bye.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Did you already hang up? Or are you still there? Okay. When were you planning the next session? Okay. Well, I'm pretty much cool every Sunday of this month, but like in January, my Sundays, I'm actually in a Hearts of Woolen game for the Gauntlet, so it may throw a wrench for all of January into me playing on a Sunday. That sucks. Oh man, that sucks. But yeah, I'm super excited to try out the game because I think they're gonna kickstart it pretty soon here.